Here we are in the search for the truth with episode 2, The Deep Dark Web. And I'm Jordan Martin with
Cody Dayton.
I'm Dayton Huey.
Yeah, so this is the second episode in my podcast. The first one is The Mysteriousness of Jeffrey Epstein with me and Cody. If it's on YouTube, if you want to check it out. So in this podcast, we'll talk about everything the deep web related. We'll talk about some 4chan, 8chan, Reddit, just chat rooms too. Cody, you actually have you have the deep web pulled up.
I do.
Go ahead and explain that.
All right, so the deep web, the dank web, the dark web, the stay away from this if you don't want drugs web. It's not as bad as everybody thinks. It does have terrible stuff. Let's not get that wrong. But that's not like all there is to it. So the thing with the dark or the deep web is it's just unarchived. So it can't be kind of like, the Wayback Machine, how you can go and look through it.
It's the Wayback Machine, I actually kind of forgot that even existed.
Oh, dude, I only heard about that like one time ever.
Really? Was it in school?
No, I was watching some video on YouTube and
really?
just some dude was using it and it took him to like, I think it was a website for like 9-inch nails, but like it eventually... I think eventually got turned into a website for something else. I think it turned out to be like a pizzeria afterwards or something because they just renamed the domain.
Welcome to a 9-inch nails pizza.
I don't want pizza. I want tacos.
Too bad. You're going to get the pizza, you little shit. I started going kind of Swedish German there.
A little bit.
I went from Italian to...
like a Swedish...
Would you like some chocolate? Swedish meatballs.
So with the deep web, you were saying, because you kind of got cut off there.
Yeah, so the deep web is literally just like the unarchived web. So where most websites, have a .com. For example, I pulled up a deep web radio here, so you can literally just listen to radio shows. There are recipes you can find on the deep web, but unlike the ClearNet, which is what like regular browsing the internet's called, this will have a .onion link. So this is 76QUGH5BEY 5 gum 70, no, not 71, 7L .onion. So with the
actually, I didn't know that that's how the web address was. I literally thought it was like something with like hiddenwiki.org or...
You can go through the hidden wiki, and that's usually where you want to start.
You can actually access the hidden wiki without downloading Tor. It's like you just hit it.
You can access the hidden wiki, but if you try to click on a link, it'll be confused. Web browsers do not understand what .onion is. That's where you need the Tor browser.
Right.
And the Tor browser, as I said, it's not just used for nefarious purposes, even though, trust me, I've seen my fair share of drugs just in the few minutes before we've been on the podcast.
You and Dayton were having a whole conversation about crack.
Oh, dude, he was trying to offer me a couple 8-balls or something. Like,
yeah, like 2 grams. Like
we were talking about it. We were like, we can get $100 and something together.
Was that like the first thing you thought of?
Literally, I was trying to be as like common when you hear dark web as possible.
I mean, dark web drugs. It's...
Yeah, as like let's just go on to some some drugs, and the first thing I found was like for 2 grams of crack cocaine, it was €90, which equates to about $100.42 from the Netherlands. So I'm like, hey, let's get some crack.
I don't know. I always when I like see stuff like dark web videos on YouTube, it's always like something from the Netherlands. You ever notice that? Or like something from Greenland. It's like those...
hiding in Europe.
Yeah, like just way out there.
It's just one of those countries no one really cares about, honestly. Like
Germany will scare you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about Russia?
Normal Germany scares me. Normal Russia scares me, dude.
Yeah.
Russians are the scariest people out there.
They're badass.
Hey, let's go to the Pirate Bay.
You're browsing the deep web right now.
As of right now, yes, I am. One of the other things I found too, speaking of like that $90 thing, you really want to check your credit cards here because this is, I don't know if this is legit or not. I mean, you can do it, but for 10 credit cards with a credit limit of anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 US, you can spend $90 and get 10 credit cards.
You really?
10 leaked credit cards.
That's what site is that?
That is cards A2U7, PVMD,
yeah,
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
You know, you ever think when like scammers call you, you think they're like trying to sell your stuff on the dark web?
I could see it after they get their fill.
They're literally
heard
just
about that,
working for like
actually.
websites. So that's like, and then they scam people into giving them their credit card number.
Well, yeah, no, I heard something. I don't really remember what I'm talking about, but I'm going to try to talk about it. I heard that, someone could easily just walk up to you and figure out, like, they have those stupid little security questions in case you lose your password, like, what was your first pet? Like, those are just like, basic conversation topics. Like, someone could approach you at, like, a bus stop or like a fast food restaurant or something, or the gas station, and they could be like, they're talking about how they lost their dog, and they get you to talk about your first pet and get the name and everything out of you, and they can get access to your accounts and
That's
stuff.
crazy, but at the same time, they'd have to like kind of know your email. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd have to
look at
actively like look into you pretty like well to have to find you initially. I mean, I'd already be terrified if I knew someone from the internet just found me.
That's crazy. I'm like mind blown right now. I honestly didn't know that like people actually do that.
Yeah, they'll call you on the phone and something. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, we went to high school together." And then they'll talk like, "What high school did you go to?" That's like your security question
Oh,
for
you
like.
remember me? I had a mullet.
Yeah, I had the mullet. Like,
And
I
see,
sold drugs in the bathroom.
with that, like I know there was a scam. It was something completely different. But when I went up to Canada, I had known there was like a scam going around where people would call up grandparents and say, "Hey, this is your grandson, granddaughter, whatever." And I had actually contacted my grandma beforehand. And I said, okay, we need to come up with like a password or a secure word here. So I told her, when I call you up, and if I say, hey, I need money or I need this, you need to ask me, what sitcom have you been watching lately? Which the answer was The Nanny with Fran Drescher.
That's a good
So
one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna be protecting myself here. And I'm sad, none of the 18 plus porn is coming up. It's all not loading.
Oh, you're looking that up too.
I'm trying to find the
Dude,
porn.
hey, Cody,
Absolutely.
you have that entire thing. You have it all on your computer. You're willing to get into anything, aren't you? Dude,
I've seen some fucked up shit.
I want to like talk about this. They have Hitman on there, dude. I think some of that shit is like, it's like legit, but at the same time, it's like, I think they're just trying to take your money and not like send you a hitman.
There are some fakes out there, obviously, because it's all anonymous.
Those
out there
are
on the dark
those are expensive though. You pay what like $2,000 for a hitman, and then like the hitman never shows up. It's like you get scammed, and then you're gonna get caught doing something illegal too, eventually.
Speaking of that, just scroll down the hidden wiki here, and erotic jailbait comes up.
Oh,
Epic.
I'm just gonna scroll away from that.
you have
one.
like a what's
A
it called?
VPN?
No, like a Word document on. You have some doc on.
I do not know. I can pop up a Word document.
No, I mean on your computer you have like some kind of
Oh, a virtual machine.
yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
So, if you want to access the deep
What the
web,
hell is a computer?
if you
No,
want,
no. Actually, well, you can. I'm talking about this thing right there.
Oh no, this is not a document.
Okay.
This is actually the hidden one of the hidden wikis.
Right. I was saying like I thought that was a document you found on it.
No.
Oh.
So this is just a website that archives the different hidden wiki links that you can click on.
You know what's fascinating though? How deep like it really goes, because you go from like the hidden wiki and then site to other archive sites. It just keeps going down the rabbit hole.
It's literally like Alice. Sometimes you find interesting things, sometimes you don't. Like earlier, I was on this deep web radio, which I still have up. It was like tormarket.net, and then you have the choice to continue on the ClearNet, which isn't as recommended, or to go through the Tor browser. And I call shenanigans, but they have an iPhone 11 Pro with 256 gigabytes of storage at only $500. And when I tried to buy one, I clicked on it. It's like, yeah, you can't really buy anything off of our site right now, but you can buy privately if you send us an email. It's like, you just want
Yeah.
my credit card. Sorry, mate. I'm not that retarded.
Yeah, that
I'm only slightly retarded. Not that retarded.
not that
Just
retarded.
a little
Just
bit.
a little bit.
That's where Bitcoin is where you want to dabble if you are going to buy anything off the deep web.
Dude, there's like so much to talk about. Bitcoin. I want to talk about Bitcoin too. You guys do Bitcoin?
Absolutely not.
What do you think about it?
I am
I
terrified.
thought about it.
I am
but
terrified.
Why are you terrified?
Well, like just investing in anything, like any cryptocurrency is so dangerous because potentially you could, like remember, I don't know if you guys know, but like when Bitcoin hit like the
Yes.
prime of its like value and people were making like thousands of dollars off of it because when it was cheap, you'd buy like, I don't know, 100 something for so much money and you'd like triple your profits.
Well, you don't just have to buy Bitcoin too. They have
Yeah.
computers that are called miners.
Yeah, they use
so you
machines
have
that
to
just
have
mine
some
it. Yeah.
pretty powerful hardware to do it though, but it does. It pretty much puts the computer at 100% power all the time, meaning your electricity bill is going to go up a little bit
With
in your
Bitcoin?
computer. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Because they're
I
just
didn't know that.
actively like mining
So
it. and-
Bitcoin cryptocurrency uses your electricity.
Well, because it uses your computer.
Well,
it
yeah,
puts your
but-
computer at full power.
But you would think that cryptocurrency is kind of invisible to, like the normal. That's just weird to me.
You got to get that dollar
Bitcoin.
coins, y'all.
I mean, you said you wouldn't like get Bitcoin, but would you invest in it in like stocks maybe? Is it worth that much?
I would say not anymore because I think the craze is
I wouldn't risk
all
it.
but come and gone.
Because like, yeah, the Bitcoin was like going up, how Bitcoin's the future, but like now I don't know people on a day-to-day basis.
I do think eventually we'll be using cryptocurrency. I mean, we already kind of are with like, debit cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, true,
paper
true.
money is almost, I feel like in 10 or so years, we won't even really be using it.
Why? Oh, well, I don't know. They've been saying that for a while. We still get
Yeah.
paper money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Canada though, and like the rest of the world, literally is plastic. I've shown you. I can show you one of my bills.
Sure.
Because I've kind of kept them.
Oh,
because
because you said Canadian money is kind of rare now. That's yeah.
Well, one of my pennies anyway. That's a Canadian $10 bill. I believe that is the first female prime minister of Canada. I love those vertical bills though. I had a 150th anniversary of
Is this French on the back?
Yep. Because they have to appease Quebec.
Fuck Quebec.
Seriously, if you're from Quebec, please come out and say you are not a jerk. Oh my god. When I was up there, everybody and their mother was telling me people from Quebec are up their own. Woohoo!
Wait, where'd you go?
What's this
in
little
Canada?
clear part right here?
I went to Alberta,
Oh,
which is east of British Columbia. But yeah, the rest of the world pretty much has plastic money. So if we hold on to physical money, I think that's where we're going to be in a couple years. I hope, because I love that money.
that's crazy to think about, though. Well, but then again, like money to an extent, to a very slight extent, runs on gold. Still, some of it does. I mean, we still have gold, and we still have paper money, and then plastic, and then
Then it'll just keep being some sort of physical currency.
I don't know.
Let's
I
see.
think we'll always have it. Honestly, it won't be like used on a day-to-day basis because it never.
Dude,
is.
I haven't used paper money myself in like a year.
Seriously.
Same.
Oh yeah, I know. Like
usually use
I pay my rent with checks. I buy food with my card. Like I haven't touched a bill other than at work.
Oh,
for,
like if
like-
people give you money.
Oh yeah, no, people when I'm at work, people give me bills all the time, obviously, but like
Yeah.
I myself have not used a bill in probably almost a year.
All right, so I'm just kind of looking it up right now because we were talking about it. Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is currently worth $9,290.17.
Wait, one Bitcoin, like, is it a Bitcoin? What's it called? Bitcoin coin or dollar? Or
It's
what?
just called Bitcoin.
Just called a Bitcoin.
So one Bitcoin is worth that much.
Nearly
So
$10,000.
how does that work? Because don't people have like a lot of Bitcoin? I'm not actually.
Well,
I don't know a lot about Bitcoin
So
in that sense.
cryptocurrencies
Yeah.
kind of rise and fall in value. So when they're at a very low value, you can I don't think Bitcoin was ever at this point, but say you can buy like, I don't know, like 400 Bitcoins for like $6. And so you just have 400 Bitcoins in your possession under your name. And then eventually, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years down the line, it climbs up and they reach that value. So you have 400 of those.
Now you multiply that.
Now you multiply that by the actual amount, and that is how much cash that you have made investing in Bitcoin. That's why it was such a big thing a while
Well,
ago.
then shouldn't it still be a big thing? I mean, wouldn't most people?
Well,
be all
it's the
over
same
that?
thing as like stocks. is like, before a company gets really successful, you invest in it, and like, you buy like a few stocks for basically pennies, and then afterwards you just, you wait, and eventually, the company invested in is like the next Apple,
And once it gets so big,
and now you own part
people
of
will
that
pull
company,
out, grab their money,
grab their cash,
and
and
then the hype's
they're
dead.
rich, yeah.
And that's where miners can come in. Getting one Bitcoin is actually harder than you think. So even though I've never done any mining, because I actually don't want my computer to start a fire.
Any what?
Bitcoin mining.
A Bitcoin.
Oh,
So
okay.
how you mine for a Bitcoin is you literally have your computer running thousands of processes trying to pretty much do a huge mathematical equation to get to this Bitcoin. Whoever gets to it first gets one Bitcoin. So that sounds easier said than done.
Okay, I sorry, I don't mean it. I literally thought you just transfer your money into like
You can.
I didn't know it was like a Hunger
You can
Games
directly
type
like
thing.
buy
Yeah.
one.
It's like whoever gets there first. It's like every man for themselves.
In a miner, yes, whoever gets there first will get the one whole Bitcoin, because like most prices here, let's go back to this card shop for instance. I was looking at $90. You're looking at 0.00971 Bitcoins. So most of the time you're going to be seeing decimals like that, because getting one Bitcoin is hard to do. It's literally whoever gets there first. And if you're like, if you were even second place to getting to it,
Yeah.
you would just get a decimal. You would not get the one, then you would have to start all over.
Well, then how much is like stuff on the since everything on the deep web is through Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
They'll buy like percentages of like a full Bitcoin. Not everything is
But like,
gonna be
how
like
much do they
7
charge
Bitcoins.
for like something like hypothetically? Would it be
Well,
like 16 Bitcoins? Or
Technically,
No.
it depends on what you're buying.
Well, yeah, it depends on what you're buying.
right? But I just
It would be like the everyday value of the item, but it would just be transferred over to like the terms of Bitcoin. So I don't know, maybe you're buying like, fuck it, dude, like a submachine gun. Maybe that's, I don't know how much a submachine gun
Let
would
me take a
cost. I'm not
look.
that type of guy.
he's
Maybe
looking
it costs like $300. And so maybe that's the price they're charging for it. But in like terms of Bitcoin, they're not going to charge you like 300 Bitcoin, because that's like, I don't know, 600 grand. But it would be like I'm not going to do math. It's going to be like a decimal number
Yeah, it's
of that
always
specific
like a
Bitcoin.
decimal, unless
Yeah.
it's something really
It's treated
huge.
like cash, like say you're buying like a gumball for like 25 cents. You're not going to spend a whole dollar to get a 25-cent gumball. You know what I mean?
yeah.
See, that's the same idea.
Okay, I get the concept.
So like one Bitcoin is like a whole dollar.
who came up with Bitcoin? Like
I don't know, dude. Some fucking genius.
some genius who maybe he created the dark web too. He just created the entire thing.
Absolutely
way.
not.
Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. He was born April 5th, 1975, so he claims. So Satoshi Nakamoto is the name used by the unknown person or people who developed Bitcoin. So it's just kind of like a false name, a false identity that they came up with. So the real person has never actually been determined.
Dude's got to be rich though.
Oh, I can
You
imagine.
got to be swimming in it. Got the Scrooge McDuck vault. He just dives into it.
Thanks, Dark Web. Speaking of Japanese, 18 plus Japanese hot beautiful girls, Jav uncensored XXX porn movies.
Was that on Hidden Wiki too?
That was on the Pirate Bay. I was just, like, let's search porn, and
Oh,
a huge list popped up. I'm still looking for like
the price of the SMGs.
I found some. Okay, so they have a Glock 19 and a Walther PP or P99. I was gonna say a PPK, but
Those are handguns.
yeah. So it's just UK guns and ammo store. That's the only guns they have. But for a Glock, it's 500 Great British pounds, and it is equivalent to, I'll just round up and say 0.07 Bitcoin. And then a Walther is 0.09 Bitcoin. And then you got some ammo here, 50 Great British pounds for 109 millimeter bullets for Glock 19. And it's the same price too for the Walther. So that's just one of the guns I've found.
Imagine those weapons are probably unmarked,
I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
unregistered firearms.
Let's see. Like Viagra, but cheaper.
What?
Yeah. Oh, rent a
Viagra, but
hacker.
cheaper.
Oh, I
Rent a
can
hacker.
get UK passports.
Bro.
And see, that's the other thing with the hidden wiki is like sometimes if I click on a website and I comment that I'm clicking on it, but I don't talk about it, it's because some of these links get shut down. They're always changing addresses. So sometimes an address works, sometimes it doesn't.
So let's say for like a drug site, right?
Yeah.
It might get shut down by something, and then like it'll come up like a few weeks later.
Well, I think
Potentially.
they change addresses specific to
Yeah.
avoid getting shut down, and the people who need to know, like constant buyers or dealers or anything, they'll be in the know about it.
And that's the thing with the deep web. You need to know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you're not just going to type in like this UK passport. If I wanted to buy someone's passport, I wouldn't just randomly know to type in ZLVP buzz p onion
So it's basically like all the links are already posted on.
on the hidden wiki. Not
Yeah.
all of them. Like there are things that aren't on the hidden wiki that are hiding in the dark web.
Okay, well, like the stuff on the hidden wiki though, like if the government wanted to, couldn't they just like shut, or I don't know, the CIA or whatever, just shut every like link down? That's
Well, that's
They
the point of them
could,
constantly
but I
changing.
mean, yeah, they'll just keep changing it and they'll just keep popping up.
But
You
then
know-
it'll keep being on the hidden wiki though, right?
Exactly. But then they'll be found out again. They'll change the address.
But then they'll get shut down again.
But they'll just keep changing.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a never-ending cycle.
You just can't get rid of them. They'll just keep coming back.
They're like cockroaches. A lot of these. I mean, I'm not saying that people that are selling drugs or guns on here. Drugs maybe. Drug people are shady. But like if you're selling guns, you shouldn't really be selling unmarketed guns or unmarked
There's
guns.
no way to like, I don't know, put any what's the word I'm thinking of? Any
Regulation on it?
any regulation on
Yeah.
IP addresses and stuff
No,
like that, cuz
no.
And that's one of the big things behind the Project Tor, which is the
Yeah.
Tor browser as it is. So some countries such as China, maybe North Korea, you can't really access the real internet, like the full internet. So that's where the Tor browser comes in, because the Tor browser can do, your regular .coms, .nets, whatever.
because the internet, like the regular internet's only like what, like the tip of the iceberg. It's like
That
it's like-
iceberg actually works out really well.
It's like 5%. And that 5% is huge. And then you have like the 95% of the deep web that's humongous. You can't get rid of it.
And let me tell you,
It's a never-ending cycle. It's impossible.
Exactly.
You can't get rid of the internet. Like that stuff's impossible. That makes sense.
Well, especially because, it's just most of these websites are put up by, completely anonymous people. Like the whole idea behind a VPN, which we know Cody has, thank God, is that, the way a VPN works is that you're using the internet and they can see that you're using it, but they're sending data packages to you, but they can't see the specific data that you're getting.
because the VPN is
is encoding it instantly.
The IP address can't be tracked based on your
It
data.
still can if someone tries hard enough to get
if
into
they
that
try
server.
hard enough, if they really
They really want your IP, they'll get it.
Yeah.
Like
But-
even if you used NordVPN a while ago, they were using a third-party server just because they have so many
anytime somebody
users.
goes on the hidden wiki or any like dark web is like, you think they're being washed? Maybe
I would say a lot of the traffic.
as soon as let's say you for example, if you go on like you are now, or you think someone's watching you somewhere,
It is entirely possible.
just to make sure you're not doing something like bizarre.
Yeah, more than likely. There's no
I
reason
mean-
to think you wouldn't be watched.
There's a reason I bought a VPN. It wasn't just to browse the dark web.
Well,
I wasn't even going to browse
They
it.
can still watch you though with the VPN though.
They would have to dig hard.
They would have to go pretty hard.
Especially when I add a virtual machine on top of it.
So you have a VPN,
Yep.
and then you have
A
the
virtual machine, which is a computer within a computer, which within computer, I'm using Ubuntu Linux.
oh.
So it's basically an untraceable system.
Yep.
So our man's here is pretty safe.
Dude, you were like super tech savvy.
I found some heroin, $60 for half a gram. Who wants some?
Dayton.
That's a lot for half a gram of heroin, dude.
We could get a pack of 10
I don't know.
1cc.
You would think heroin's one of the more expensive drugs. Like it's kind of
It looks pretty tight, honestly. You guys seen Pulp Fiction? That scene where John Travolta does heroin in the bathroom?
Oh, God.
Love that
I'm
scene.
thinking of the scene from Breaking Bad with Jesse. If you've seen Breaking Bad,
I haven't watched a whole lot of
Science,
it.
bitch.
oh, it's Jesse one of the main characters and his girlfriend are getting like
Hi.
high on heroin, yeah,
Fair enough.
in the bathroom or something like that.
This is crack. I'm having too much fun. I forgot. I mean, like I said, there's some shady shit, but it's just fun to actually go through and see some of the shady stuff outside of one of my first interactions with the Silk Road.
Oh, I remember Silk Road. I've heard of that.
What is Silk Road?
That's got
Silk Road is the biggest drug seller on the dark web.
it is.
Absolutely lit.
It's like the rich man's deep web drug site.
Essentially, it looks like I just found the forum
It's
though,
like
and the forum is not up
it's
at
like
the
the
moment.
Amazon of the dark web for drugs.
Cool.
Yeah,
Epic.
it's gotten shut down so many times though.
Let's see, is the marketplace up? The forum was down. Private browsing.
Will we get lucky? Are we gonna buy
Drum roll.
drugs?
We can't say that on the podcast.
Yeah, we
we're-
got some crack, we got some weed, we got some
Totally
heroin.
aren't illegally buying
What's some
substances right
meth?
now.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
Do not worry.
acid too. And all
Oh
that.
god, oh that acid, that sticky devil's acid. Sure.
Like go to a rave festival at an EDM or a rave, like an EDM festival with a bunch of ravers.
Drop acid.
Yeah, everybody's on acid and
You're gonna
everyone's having fun there.
What was it? An old. He's no longer a friend of mine. Turns out he was actually quite a puke. He had told me about some of his partying days, and well, his partying days are still happening. But he told me what a candy flip is. It's where you pop a Molly and then you immediately pop acid after.
Can't.
Jesus Christ.
You learn things when you're on the internet and you meet fellow people who are on the internet. Yeah, it's interesting.
You know when 8chan got shut down, like it didn't like the CEO shut it down. How come 8chan doesn't just don't just move it to the dark web?
Who's
They
to say they
probably
haven't?
do.
You would think that it would be posted on at least Reddit somewhere. Like when people talk about like 8chan threads, like what happened to 8chan?
Oh,
Nobody ever.
8chan. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't know why I thought you said 8chan, like A, the letter A.
No, 8chan.
8chan resurfaces along with the Daily Stormer. I'm sure there is an onion link for it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Resurfaces along with the Daily Stormer and another Nazi site.
I'm surprised that was even created on the regular like web in
The
general.
ClearNet.
Yeah,
There you go. You have some new vocabulary when you say, yeah, I'm going to go on the web. And a friend's like, okay, sure. You can be like, it's actually called the ClearNet.
the ClearNet.
Yep.
The ClearNet.
You don't sound like a fucking nerd. Yeah, I'm going on the ClearNet, and as you get shoved into a locker, it's just
Nerd! I'm sorry. I was just going on the internet. Weirdo. Western Union exploit.
Western Union. Yeah, that's a good place to go.
do my bank and accounting on the deep web.
Yeah.
What an absolute fucking legend.
Onion Girl Love Board. Oh, erotic hard candy. Okay. All natural spanking.
Oh
All natural spanking. Organic spanking.
man,
only.
why didn't we like live stream this with like video, like with a video? You know, like
That would have been cool.
we should have done
Because
this.
then we could have flashed to my screen like what I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, but we'd have to censor some stuff. I mean, I haven't come across anything risque like that
We
yet that
could-
loads.
You know, it would have been cool if we would have live streamed it on your computer somehow. Perhaps. Maybe.
I could have downloaded Twitch or a Mixer. What am I thinking? I see the
Just a screen recording software?
we could have done that too, but I'm thinking like live. I'm trying to think. Oh, what is it that I use? Streamlabs OBS. Yes.
Or I was thinking of Twitch.
Well, Streamlabs OBS is just the software that can stream to Twitch, to Mixer, or wherever.
Okay. Yeah.
Biggest European dark web hackers for hire. That's an editor's pick, number 4.
Hacker. Oh, it's special. It's an editor's pick.
Oh, Vladimir, hello. My name is Vladimir. I am the technical expert at DeckWib. I cannot freaking speak. and do a terrible Russian accent at that.
Yeah, the Russian accent wasn't very good.
It wasn't. It was
I
terrible.
thought it was okay, man. I thought you did an okay job.
Well, thank you.
We support our homies here. Okay.
Let's see. Does anyone want a DDoS protected website for 1 month? It's only $900.
I'll DDoS your fucking
Oh,
toaster.
that's
Do it. He's my new rubber ducky. The new electrical outlets that we have GFCIs won't let me have bath time with my rubber
You
ducky.
guys remember getting those threats on fucking Modern Warfare 2 back in the old Xbox 360 days? Some dude sends you a message. He's like, "I'll DDoS your Xbox."
not an MW2. I hated MW2.
Yeah, and W2 was pretty shit.
It really was.
People probably want to. I have it muted, but like Call of Duty Mobile, it just came out on the phone.
Yeah.
So there's a software called Game Loop you can download on Windows, and it literally maps out where the touches are to specific keys. So all these other plebs are playing with
Oh, you can
touch
play on the
controls on
fucking
mouse and
PC,
keyboard. Yep.
like getting a fucking mouse and keyboard adapter for your Xbox and playing Siege.
Yeah.
God, I remember playing that. Someone accused me of it. That was the highlight of my year. Someone's like, "You're using a mouse and keyboard adapter." I was like,
what you're talking
I was
about,
like,
mate.
"No, bro. I kind of just walked in and sprayed. Like, give me a little bit of credit."
Nah, I'm not using a mouse or keyboard. Oh no, I can't look at high quality tutorials. Counterfeit US
They have
dollars.
tutorials on how to access certain stuff on there.
Yeah. Well, there's different tutorials too, just like how let's set up a Minecraft server. I don't know why that's what came to mind, but yeah.
Deep web Minecraft server time. Hell yeah.
Deep web. Let's see. If you want 25 fake $50 US, it's only $325. I wonder, yeah, so they only have 50s, so you can choose from 25 of them, 50 of them, or 100 of them. Anybody want some counterfeit money?
That's a no for me.
Let's see. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to click buy now on one of them. Yeah. So, username and login. I do not want to create an account. So, would it be the same for this dark web hackers?
Do you not have a burner email or anything?
I do not know.
Oh.
I used to have one when I originally did it, but
Do you want me
Yeah.
to make you one right now? We can start doing stuff or what?
we could. We'd have to think of some random name, though.
Would it have to be a name? Do they need a name? Or can we just write fucking Butthole Boy or something?
Butthole Boy 97.
Does it actually have to be a real name? Is someone going to come after us?
I don't think so.
You guys ever heard of snuff films?
Yes.
Absolutely. Daisy's Destruction. You heard of that one?
No. I've never seen a snuff.
Well, I've never seen one either.
Yeah.
No, Daisy's Destruction was. I forgot
There's-
who got caught for
There's
it.
some weird conspiracies behind stuff. Cody already knows.
I've seen things, man. And the thing I'm thinking of, it wasn't really a snuff film, but if you go on YouTube right now and search Bud Dwyer suicide,
Yeah.
you can actually see it.
Really?
So
Is that the dude who shot himself in Congress or what?
he wasn't in
What?
Congress. He was addressing there was a little bit of an audience, and he was addressing some allegations that were going around that he embezzled money and whatnot.
A U.S. congressman?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Bud Dwyer.
But never heard
I
of
think
the
I know
guy.
that video. He just kind of at the end of it, he just
Do you want to be fucked up forever?
pops
Wait,
shit
he
up.
killed himself when he
In
was
front of people.
in front of Congress?
It's not
Yeah.
that bad.
It wasn't in front of Congress, but he had pulled out a gun and people kind of freaked out and they thought he was going to shoot at them, and he's like, "Stay back. I don't want to hurt anyone here." And he people started coming up to try and grab the gun, so he immediately and you could see just all the blood coming out of his head. It was like fucking jelly, man.
Wait, how did who
The video's been around for a while though, hasn't it?
I've never heard of it.
Do you wanna?
You want to see it? It's not too
Do you want
bad.
nightmares?
It's not. It's
like
not
live
that
reaction.
terrible. It's not that terrible.
Who recorded? Who records these things?
I think it was a live TV.
Yeah, it
thing,
was.
wasn't
It was a live TV thing.
Yeah. Dude killed himself on
that,
live TV.
That clip or that thumbnail should show you enough.
Wait, it's already on YouTube. You don't have to go to the deep web for it.
No, you can
No,
just
that's
go
a public
right onto
clip.
YouTube and search Bud Dwyer suicide. That thumbnail should show it all.
Okay,
It's.
I get the idea.
No,
Yeah.
dude, come on, watch it.
I'll watch it.
It's
Yeah,
not that
Are you
terrible.
I
sure?
don't. Yeah.
Watch it together.
Okay, so there's one Dayton saying it's not terrible.
It really
Cody's
isn't
like-
too graphic. I mean,
Cody's
it's a
like,
dude shooting himself in the
eh.
head. Once you know what you're in for, it's not that bad. It's just a dude shooting himself in the head, which I mean, that is terrible.
I can't believe they have it on YouTube.
Well, it's a part of history, you know. Like
Yeah, but
you can
it's-
watch like the JFK assassination on here.
Oh,
But-
you
but
gotta
that's-
sign in to confirm
Yeah,
your
but that's a
age.
little different. Like, well, I guess not.
It's a part of history, dude.
Okay, historical stuff, but that's not necessarily a snuff film then.
No, not really.
No,
It's
yeah,
just-
it
it's
wasn't
kind of
a
on
snuff
topic.
film.
That's
but,
okay. Sorry, I was thinking of this was like a planned thing he wanted to do. That's like super screwed up.
It was planned that he was going
Well,
to kill himself.
I meant in like the snuff film context. Like I thought it was one of those.
Oh no. It isn't a snuff film. It was just he was supposed to come out and address these scandals that were against him.
What kind of scandals?
He was embezzling money and stuff. Yeah. You know,
And,
basic politician shit.
Let's see. And since I have to sign in to confirm my age, I am not signing in on the deep web. Do not ever sign in to any of your accounts on the deep web.
On the yeah, that'd be smart.
I'll mute that.
Yeah,
so-
you might want to mute it.
Okay, so he pulls out the gun right here. And then
Oh, wait, hold
he's
on, I
telling
wanna see.
everybody, like, stay away. I don't want to hurt anyone. And then they start coming up to him, which is when you see him really go fast right here. And it doesn't look bad at first, but oh god,
Yeah,
it's just like a freaking water fountain of blood.
oof. This video's up on YouTube for anyone.
Definitely is a man shooting
for
himself.
anybody that wants to watch the video. It's on YouTube.
You guys seen that video that I forget what country it was, but it was someone's like prime minister or something. Some assassin ran up to him with a gun, and the gun misfired, and he just beat the fuck out of the assassin right on stage.
That would have been funny to watch.
No, I forget. I don't know. Maybe you could find it. Because nothing bad happens in the video, but the dude just runs up to him with like a 38, and the 38 jams. The prime minister just starts wailing on him.
Let's see. Hideki Tojo?
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, okay. So Tojo
yeah.
from World War II.
Absolutely fucking stupid lit. I love that video.
Let's see.
Duck, duck, go.
Yeah. So DuckDuckGo is used instead of Google.
Why do I think that's funny?
Stupid lit.
Duck.
Dude, I've never been on the deep web myself. I mean, that's why I got you on the podcast because you know so much.
Yeah, you have no intrinsic value other than being the deep web guy.
I see how it is.
No, you're
Sorry, Cody.
duck, duck, go. Does it kind of work the same as
You
Google?
just
It
leave your
works
laptop
just the
and
same
go.
as Google.
What if the it's actually another product of Google and they just put it on the deep web?
DuckDuckGo is totally by themselves. In fact, I was actually seeing an ad for them the other day, and I was like, because it was weird. Because here we are. I swear to God, Google's spying on all of us. I was talking to you, and it probably heard me saying, "Yeah, deep web," and it's like, here's an ad for DuckDuckGo.
When did the ad come up?
Actually, a day ago.
A day ago?
Yeah, like I was literally setting up Linux through the virtual machine, and YouTube's playing in the back, and then I hear DuckDuckGo.
Is DuckDuckGo accessible without just being on the clear web?
Yep.
Okay.
You can get DuckDuckGo on the clear web because it's a .com domain.
Well,
So-
if you search like that stuff on the DuckDuckGo, does like the hidden stuff come up on it?
No, it will just show regular like .coms, .orgs, .nets through DuckDuckGo. That's where you have to search like with this hidden wiki, and there's tons of hidden wikis.
So there's two different types of DuckDuckGos. What? That's weird that DuckDuckGo would just, or the company would just allow that to be used like that on the, because Google's not allowing Google to be used on the dark web for that, right?
You can go to google.com.
On the dark web, and you can find those like hidden, like you could find like a drug site.
No,
No, see, that's what I'm saying. DuckDuckGo
but you can't go to DuckDuckGo and just be like,
on the deep web, you can though, right?
you have to go through the hidden wiki. Because like right here, if I see like right here, I search deep web drugs, I get a .com, YouTube video, legitscript.com. So it won't show any of the onion links, which is what you need to access the dark web. So yeah, just because you're on the dark web and
Yeah.
you search for things on the dark web doesn't mean you're gonna get the onion link.
Dude, you're super secure. Not only do you have the what was it called, virtual
Virtual machine.
Yeah, the
you
virtual
have that.
machine
You have a VPN, and then Tor itself kind of
has some security measures built in. Yes.
yeah.
So if somebody wanted to find out where I am, what I was doing, who I am, etc., they would be digging for a while.
They could absolutely do it though.
Yeah.
It would take a
could.
lot
It
of
would-
digging.
But it would take a lot of effort, and it gets to a point like, is it necessary?
Is it worth it? Yeah. Am I just wasting time here? Is this just gonna be some dude like whacking off to jabs? Like,
Is Tor the only browser you can use to access the deep web, like without being?
it's probably the safest one.
I would say, yeah, it's probably the safest one and the most known. I'm sure there are other deep web browsers. I haven't personally looked.
There's definitely got to be others. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely. Yep, it looks like right here, techlazy.com, 10 deep web browsers for access the deep web. So someone that doesn't know English. But let's see, accessing. We have Tor, number one, first one on there. Then there's Tor browser for Android. You have Wonix, Subgraph OS, Disconnect, Tails. Ooh, wait, no, Tails isn't. Okay, so maybe
I've heard of Tails.
It's not a browser though. That's a type of Linux.
Well, I've still heard of it though. I know what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Let me guess. You watched some Ordinary Gamers, Mudahar.
absolutely.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's always talking about Tails because Tails is an amnesiac Linux. So essentially, when you shut it down, it's like a brand new one. Like it always. It's kind of like our deep freeze here at Iowa Central, where once the computer shuts down and whatever is done, it's like a brand new computer. There's nothing on it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where if I had Tails, I'd be safer. But since I'm in a virtual machine anywhere, as Dayton said earlier, if for some reason
He's pretty good.
So Tails is safer than Tor.
Tails is safer to use than Ubuntu Linux.
Oh.
Because Ubuntu is an amnesiac system,
Oh.
where Tails is I'll restart it and it's brand new. But the thing with a virtual machine is I can literally just pop out of full screen here. And
You
this
can
is
completely
actually
delete it.
yeah. So I can just go, hey, this machine's corrupt
Gone.
and delete.
Yeah.
And it's like that computer never existed.
Thing like I've seen a lot of people take virtual machines and use them to like test viruses and stuff. Especially, Mudahar does that a lot.
Yeah.
I always think those videos are really cool where they'll find some random ass virus that is it's so dumb, like the hentai virus or something.
And like, what's the one? Sad Satan. Sad Satan. I wonder if I can find
That
that.
game.
I
Please.
yes.
If you play that game here, I am not sure how I'm gonna react.
I do. Isn't it like something like super bizarre?
It's supposed to be some really weird game.
And then it causes you a virus to your.
I think there's CP in it. Isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. There's definitely cheese pizza.
Can you access that without being on the dark web?
No.
No.
It is an illegal product.
Yeah.
Sad Satan. So Sad Satan is. I've heard the name.
It's basically just a game.
I've heard the name. I know it's bizarre. Is for myself and other people that don't know, it's
It's a game.
It's just a really weird game that can download viruses for you and blah, blah, blah. And that's another thing. Again, if you want to dive into the deep web, if you want to check it out, for the love of God, do not do it on a Windows PC. And if you are going to do it on a Windows PC, do it within a virtual machine. Because the thing is, Windows is susceptible to viruses. Linux, yeah, they can get viruses every now and then, but they're not going to get them as likely as Windows. So if you're doing the deep web, do what I'm doing. Get a virtual machine with Linux. Because I don't know if you'd really even want to use a host.
probably not a
Linux.
MacBook either. Probably not an Apple product.
MacBooks are less susceptible to viruses too because
Really?
they are built on a Linux kernel. However, again, I wouldn't use. So we have these things called a host machine and a virtual machine. The host machine is the machine that runs the computer inside of your computer. So your host machine can be Windows, that's fine, but you got to make sure you're using a Linux virtual machine, because there are ways too, like if they were to get through my VPN, get through Tor security, they could find my virtual machine, realize it's a virtual machine, then go through the virtual machine and attack
into
me
his actual
directly.
computer. There's
So
always a lot of
regulators like the
recipes.
government can do that, or like the CIA, or you're saying like
Anybody.
hackers.
Anybody that's
Absolutely
really good
anyone.
and knows what they're doing, yes.
Okay, I could understand the CIA doing that because maybe they want to make sure you're not doing something illegal. But like hackers, like why? Who is that? How much time do you have on your hands where you're trying to find random people?
Well, the
to
whole
s-
idea behind some of these viruses is basically just
To screw up your day.
Screw up your day. Some of them maybe have a thing where it's like, we've encrypted your files. Here's a code. Send us so much Bitcoin, and we'll send you a link to uncode your files.
Ransomware.
Ransomware. adware, that kind of crap. Some viruses are just, they're just meant to be, fuck you over. Some of them have actual purposes to make the maker money.
And see, so you probably don't know much, but when you think of a hacker, what do you think of?
What?
Like when
in
you
terms
think of
in terms of like internet hackers?
yeah,
I mean, it's obvious that they want your information, correct?
not all. So you're going to learn some new vocabulary. On the internet, we have white hat, gray hat, and black hat. White hat are hackers that literally go to hack companies to show like security flaws and then give them to the companies. White hat means you're hacking for a good cause and you are trying to let these people that you hack know that I was able to find this exploit.
Okay.
Gray hat is a mix of both black and white. So if white is, you're doing it for good, obviously black hat, you're doing it just to piss in somebody's cornflakes. And there are a lot of black hat hackers out there. Gray hat is essentially you take the good and you take the bad, you put them together, and what do you have? So the gray hat, it's kind of like an anti-hero situation. They do it for good, but sometimes they do it for bad. Now, black hat is where I would say there are a lot of black hat on the dark web, which is where what we were just talking about.
So black hat's like your typical hacker.
Yeah, the black hat's what you're thinking of. The ones that are just trying to steal your money, trying to be a nuisance, trying to be an asshole. Like they have no fucking life. They just want to ruin yours. That's black hat. So, but there are good hackers out there, as I just said with white hat. So not every hacker is the same. Not every hacker is evil or just a jackass.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the black hat. Like the people that made Sad Satan, black hat. They literally have nothing to do.
Well, if it's a
just wanna
game,
ruin-
like why? If it's so you're playing the game and it'll just give you a virus on the computer.
yes,
Then like who would want to who enjoys that? Like who?
Just the random, user for the dark web. Just you see something like that, you're like, oh, the dark web made this game? Absolutely, let's play it. And you start seeing CP and gore, and you're like, this is a bad idea.
And
I
see-
shouldn't have done this.
and see, not just that, but we kind of talked about like going down the rabbit hole earlier.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that can watch. Sometimes there are black hats on the same website that you visit, and they see that
Oh.
hey, you're visiting, so now we're gonna send something to you.
I'm not surprised. That's more frequent.
That's
than
why you
people
want the
think.
virtual machine and the VPN.
Yep.
And with the Tor browser, like I said, it adds extra security. So if the black hat
Well, your
really
computer
wanted to
too
screw
is
you-
just pretty secure in general. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the better computers, I guess.
I take a lot of precautionary measures, but it might be. No, you don't. Don't try to go to sleep on me. It might be one of the more secure ones, but there are still people that can find a way through it, and I'm sure there are computers that have extra security too.
Yeah.
So
What were you saying about Sad Satan earlier? You said there's like weird stuff on it. Like it's a game, right? But
it's a game on the dark web that
it's-
has some like weird imagery.
Only
Oh,
really a
really?
game by definition, where it's an interactive piece of media.
Yeah.
It's not an actual game. You kind of just walk around in it, and it shows you just this random crap. Like I think
It changes every
I haven't
time, though.
seen it myself.
I know, but it changes every time though, doesn't it?
no,
No.
it's just
It's always the same piece.
it's a pre-generated game. It's
Okay.
But like I think that I've seen like like there's CP on it. If you don't know what CP stands for, I'm not gonna say
Cheese
it, but
pizza.
cheese pizza.
I know
Yeah,
what
let's
it.
just-
You know what that is?
I know. what it
Anyway,
is.
there's like that. There's I think there's some picture like some dude getting crushed by like a truck or something. There's all kinds of crap on it.
I think I can actually. I mean, I already have it muted, but this is just some like gameplay of Sad Satan created with Terra Engine. I think this is actually a recreation of it, but it's literally just like a weird.
So you walk around and you see imagery.
Yeah,
pretty
like
much
it'll
it.
be like jump scares. It'll pop up and
Okay.
show some
This
weird
is
shit.
people can watch this on YouTube then, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay. We just wouldn't recommend going on
Trying
it.
to find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if, because I think it's an exe file, so it wouldn't run on Linux anyway, unless you were running Wine, and even then, it's kind of iffy if it'll even run. By the way, Wine is not a Windows emulator,
Well,
is what they call it anyway.
dude, that the snuff film stuff. Wasn't there like a whole conspiracy about like the whole like Pizzagate thing and stuff like that? Like I heard something about like a snuff film. Like some dude said it was on. I was reading like Reddit comments and it was about like the Clintons and stuff like that. There's like some snuff film involved with them.
Well, snuff films aren't like specifically an internet thing. Like snuff films have been around as long as
Yeah, well,
recording has been around.
I know that, but this one specifically is like somewhere hidden on the internet. Like only a few people have found it.
Do you know which one it is? Like, does it have a name or anything? Or?
No, well, I'm sure it does. I'm sure you can find like details about it on like the regular internet, like someone's talking about it. But
There is a pretty famous one, which
I don't want to go into what it is because it's like very, very screwed up.
oh yeah, I wouldn't talk about it directly, but there's a really famous one that someone got found out for where they were torturing a child to death. I said it earlier. It's called Daisy's Destruction. And
Welcome to one of the first things I ever found on the dark web.
Essentially,
What's
it's just like I won't get into detail because I haven't seen it, nor do I want to see it. But it's taking someone's face off essentially.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then like kind of scaring them.
you guys heard of like red rooms and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Yeah. I always like thought those were myths. I didn't think those were real at all.
you didn't.
No, I mean like I could see it, but like I
I'm
didn't.
sure there are a lot of fakes out there. but
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sure
probably
there
a
are
lot of
real
places that are willing to take your money to see it, but I don't think that there's that many of them out there.
Well, I feel like there's so many easy scams that like a lot of drug sites or gun sites or.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can scam someone who wants like that kind of content, I mean, more power to you, honestly. But
Just go to LiveLeak.
yeah, honestly,
Makes it so much easier.
I've never been to liveleak.com.
I've only been once, and that was to see, that whole Logan Paul thing where he was in the suicide
Oh, the dead
forest.
body?
Yeah.
Oh my God, after I saw the Bud Dwyer thing, nothing really affects me anymore. That was like some of the most fucked up shit I'd
I
ever
saw this
seen.
video of this dude with like a broken arm and like his arm was completely broken, or his hand was completely broken off of his wrist, and his wrist was peeking through the skin of his arm entirely, and you could see the muscle and tissue and everything. It was disgusting.
No, thank you.
Dude, there's a whole, there's like a whole, I know there's Instagram accounts that have those type of videos on it, like really screwed up stuff. Nothing like super bizarre, like super, but it's just like super screwed up stuff. And they're private accounts, and you can follow them, and they'll check you out to make sure you're not like a government person. They'll give access to you. I have friends that like follow those accounts. They see some weird stuff on it.
One of my coworkers like showed me a video of some dude getting murdered with a pickaxe, and I was just like, "All right, bro, thanks."
I saw like there's like one, and some dude was like attacking a dog with
Shovel Dog.
Shovel dog,
You know what I'm talking about?
Shovel Dog.
shovel dog.
Someone was
He's
attacked.
just hitting the dog with a shovel.
Yeah.
That's Shovel Dog.
Okay.
I sounded so enthusiastic that I knew that too.
Marshall.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's where he beats the shit out of his dog with a shovel.
Poor dog, honestly.
God. I showed my
When-
friend Mark that when I found out about it, and he was just oh my God, lost. And he's like, that should happen to the dude that's beating the dog with a shovel. It should be turned around as fair play. I'm like, I would love to see that.
So you get the idea of what I'm talking about. But there's worse stuff than that. Shovel Dog it's screwed up, but it's not like super like.
It's terrible, but
It's not
only
bizarre.
kind of the surface.
Yeah.
Of what people are capable of.
There's some weird stuff down there. There's like some guy cutting his fingers off.
I remember when I used to use 4chan, like I saw this video of this dude taking a cat and put it in a cage,
Yeah.
and he took it out
On
into
4chan?
a field. Yeah, on 4chan. They have gore threads and stuff on there. It's not a big deal. But he took it out into a field, poured gasoline on it, and lit it on fire while it was still in the cage.
What?
And I was like, I don't know, 15 at the time, so that scarred me for like a week.
And see, this is where you would be more of the specialist, because I honestly never really browsed 4chan or 8chan.
Well, I wasn't a big user of it. I never posted anything, but I did go around with it. It's mostly just really weird kinds of porn, honestly. Like,
Normal porn for normal people. If anybody gets that reference,
no idea.
comment down below. Okay. Normal porn for normal people. It's just a creepypasta story.
Fair enough.
And it's one of the better ones.
Hey, speaking
out
of
there.
creepypastas, I actually heard a story about the dark web. I think it came from Reddit. I don't really remember the whole thing, but like it turned out this dude was using like the Android browser for Tor on his phone. And like
Even though Android is a Linux, I recommend against that.
anyway, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I bought drugs off of it. I kept buying weed and everything." And eventually I found a link to a red room. And he went on it, and like he saw like a live feed of this dude like drilling like a power drill into the back of a little girl's head. Obviously, this is a fake story. Like, you know,
okay.
I don't believe half the things I see on Reddit.
I
But
don't believe half the things I see that are based on real stories.
yeah,
and
based on a true
creepypastas.
story.
Not
Fuck,
in Red-
go
not-
fuck
not-
yourself.
Not in Reddit. Not in Reddit, at least.
But anyway, this dude was like, you know, he commented in like the live chat feed, like everyone else was like, yes, yes, and then like he was like, you guys are sick, I'm gonna report you to the police, and like he got redirected to a private chat room, and the guy was like, the runner of the website was like, hey man, we're gonna send people after you now because you're a bitch. And it was the whole live wrestler story was him talking about how people were following him and stuff on his way to class and everything. And the whole time I'm just like, this is the stupidest fucking story ever.
Thanks to the game called Welcome to the Game.
Yeah.
Once I popped on the dark web last night, I did start going paranoid. Like, something following me? Do I turn off the lights? Do I run to the lights, turn them off, turn everything off, and just shut up?
Dude, just browsing the dark web and like at like 3 a.m.
That's what I was doing last night.
That's
as
a
I was
whole.
getting
That's a
this
whole
set up.
mood. That's a whole mood.
I think
if you're
people
into
are
that.
just too paranoid when it comes to stuff like that. Like I was like, you know, Cody's safe. He knows what he's doing. If he feels like he's in danger, I'm sure he'd figure it out before anything terrible happened. You know,
If I felt something was
if
going
he felt
on,
something was going wrong,
I would
shut down the
immediately-
machine.
I would
delete
destroy
it.
it. Yeah, completely get
Completely
rid of it.
refresh the computer.
Turn off the VPN, connect to a different server.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Wait, what do you mean? Like if something goes wrong? Like if there's like a hacker or someone stalking you, or if
Like
someone,
if something.
can people hang on? Can people watch you through a webcam on the dark web?
oh, absolutely.
So
You don't even have to be on the
You know
dark
those
web.
websites.
you don't even
well,
have to
that's
be on a
true.
site. You can just be browsing in some like
There are
You know,
websites.
like how I was saying that there are people laying in wait on certain websites when you visit them.
Yeah.
They'll grab you right there.
There are certain websites that you go to where you can just watch through people's security cameras, like the ones in their house, ones to their phones. Yeah, absolutely.
How? Because those are
They're unsecured cameras, so they're set up, but they're not set up to a Wi-Fi password. I've literally sat and watched people before. Me and my friend, just like out of curiosity, nothing sexual. It was just like one
You
thing
just
I
gotta
remember
see into
was
someone's
an old
house or
man.
something?
Yeah, like this old man was just sitting watching TV. Looked like he had just gotten off work. So me and my friend were actually trying to get his location to call him up and say, "Hey, dude, we're not going to tell you our names, obviously, but we found your camera. We are watching you watch TV right now, so you need to secure your camera up right now."
You did that?
Catch me on the
We
website.
tried to.
Okay.
We found his location. We like found his address, and we were looking around the area. We found the area code, and I was like, okay, this is his address, obviously. Blah blah blah. But we could never get a number. We could never get a phone number.
Never.
Just send them a letter or anything? Or?
No,
So you could
because
find-
eventually, like a week later, we checked and it was secure.
It was
there's
fine.
no way to find the address and put it in a Google and like find a number related to that address.
Nope. The phone number. Well,
Sometimes
I'm
you
sure
have-
there's a way, but
You have
me
to
and
pay,
my friend
you
were
have to
like,
pay for those too. It's like if you're trying to find like, so like if somebody hits your car, a little off topic, but if somebody hits your car and you're trying to get their license plate and they drive off, like something like that, and you want to like find their public records, it takes forever to load, and then you have to pay a good chunk of money for it. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
which that's just where like I would go to like the police and say, hey, this is their license plate, and they'd be able to track them
Yeah.
down. What I'm loading up right now,
You know-
this is not deep web content, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is live from a New York bar.
Oh, that's happening right now.
This is happening
live
as we
feed.
speak. Because their camera is unsecured, they do not have it protected. So we could call up this bar
what
and
if,
say, hey,
I'm so confused though, because what if you don't have your camera set up for Wi-Fi? It's just
if
makes
you
no
don't
s-
have it protected with
that
a
makes
password,
no sense to me though.
If it's connected to a server but not protected by a password.
people can get into
Yeah.
it.
If it's just
like
if
that.
it's just a straight monitoring system that's not connected to the internet,
though?
it's
How do they
fine.
find
You could just search unsecured webcams or unsecured cameras.
on the dark web?
You can even do it on the ClearNet.
No, I mean,
this
how-
is ClearNet that I'm on right
I mean,
now.
how do people? Obviously, to watch it, it's easy, but how do people get access to that?
Like how they connect them?
Yeah,
They would just connect it,
It
and then
just
set up a
happens.
stream. Because they can see it through like they'd have to find the IP, and an IP is usually like 192.168.this.this. or usually it's just like a random string of numbers. So if they have the IP address, they can literally watch it through. So this is going to bring up nothing, I'm sure, but like 33.156.
I'm like spooked out now because any house I've been at with cameras, like you never know if people probably made a live stream of you.
Some dude's got a video of you just jacking off in your grandma's house or something. Is that what you're scared of?
No, I'm not. It's just like if I'm just sitting on the couch watching TV or like, working.
I'd be flattered knowing strangers are watching me. Like, come on. They're like, oh, you want to see what I do day to day? You want to watch me play Resident Evil 2 for 6 hours and then jerk off for 30 minutes straight, and then go back for another 6 hours? Like, come on, dude, join me. Let's go. Take the journey with me, bro. Come on.
Or we could just watch people driving around in Moscow.
I would rather not do that. Russia.
Just like all of a sudden car bomb, and it's like, oh
or
god.
All of a sudden you see some guy pull out like an assault rifle.
Just it's
it is Russia. It is Russia.
I mean, I'm sure they've seen worse.
God, man, that's some weird stuff.
But yeah, so unsecure webcams if you want to see what people are doing.
So is that what you were scared of when you thought like something could go wrong?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Because
how do you sense? So you're like just searching, and Dayton's like, well, if something goes wrong, you're probably smart enough to get out of it.
You can usually tell, like, if something really
you're normally
looks
capable of figuring out, like, the real sketchy websites. Like, you just get on there and you're immediately like, I should not be here.
Yeah.
I need to get off of this. I need to make sure everything's still good.
So, like, let's say I went to the drug website and then maybe a message popped up out of nowhere. That's where it's like, okay,
we're done. Cut it down. Shut it down. We're good. Next topic.
We're done, boys. Changing the VPN, and then we're shutting it off.
Dude, what if somebody's watching you through your webcam right now? Just let them know, hey, we're making a podcast about you. We're talking about you.
Hey, you want us? Call this number, 555-555-5555.
Get a real deep web hacker just on the phone just to talk to him.
We could do that.
Wait.
Like, if we wanted to test that out, we could set up, like, I doubt we would get anybody. Like, I highly doubt we would get anybody.
For, like, connected to the podcast?
Yeah. But, like, we could, like, set up a fake Skype. Well, not a fake Skype, but we could just pay for, like, a Skype number that is unassociated with any of us and just say, hey, call this number. Talk to us. But I doubt we would get any hits.
Really?
Like, if we were just to assume people were watching us through the webcam and we were to, like, okay, guys, call this number if you can hear us right now, I doubt we'd get anybody.
Don't think so.
No.
Because not enough traffic, or you just don't think people would be interested?
Because of my security.
Yeah.
If you were to go, again, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to do the deep web, do not do it on a Windows computer. Do not.
What if you have Tor, though?
Like, no, even with Tor, and even with a VPN, Linux is that extra step that really gives, I don't know why I thought of this, the boot the extra shine. On Windows, there are so many vulnerabilities that people can break through.
On Windows?
Yes.
Why is Windows like that?
Because Windows, getting a little technical, every operating system runs on a thing called a kernel.
Okay, I know that.
Linux updates its kernels pretty frequently, like pretty much at the minimum every week.
Okay.
Windows sits on a kernel for months, if not years, and people find out how to get into that kernel. That's how Linux computers are less susceptible to viruses. That's why MacBooks are less susceptible to viruses, because the kernel is constantly changing. That, and nobody uses Linux all that often, so there's literally not that much interest to try and hack people on Linux.
Remember a friend of ours told, like, he built a gaming PC, and we're like, oh yeah, what kind of OS? Yeah, and there he goes, Linux. Spent a straight minute laughing at him.
Linux is actually getting a lot better. I can go into this too. So before I reinstalled Windows on this to do the virtual machine, because trying to set up the VPN through Ubuntu Linux was a pain in the... So the thing with Linux is you just can't... Oh, it's open. You have to do everything through... I'll bring up a terminal here. So one command is sudo apt get update. This is like a common thing. Hit enter, and then I have to type in my password. So what this is just saying, all the apps that I have on this computer, please update them. Same goes for upgrade. For Ubuntu, we use sudo because it's a Debian thing. It's super user do. So it's essentially giving it admin controls. But there's also bash, which is like run a command. CD, which is everything uses CD. It's just literally change directory. So if I wanted to change to my downloads, which is how I got into the browser, I would do CD /home/Crucifix/downloads. And now I can access this. If I type dir for directory, it shows me what's in. I guess the main point I'm trying to make, though, is kind of long-winded for it. You can't just, and it's open on Linux. Some things you can, but yeah, you've kind of got to be somewhat versed in command
Linux
lines.
is just complicated enough to where you get that little extra step of protection.
Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to.
That's
Computer
it.
nerd out there.
Hey, it's fine. That's actually probably pretty good to have. That's a good lesson. You know how many people that would just use Windows to go to the dark web?
Don't do it.
A lot of people.
Learn how to make a live USB of Linux.
I'm not
Put it on your computer.
I'm not that familiar with it, but I've always thought that Windows would just be a little sketchy to use on that. Wouldn't trust Windows.
I don't.
I don't even
Security. Mudahar, I remember saying in one of his videos, I think he actually showed a tutorial, which is where I learned how to get on the dark web. He was like, do not use Windows to do the dark web.
I'd be skeptical to even use Mac.
Mac is a little less secure than Linux, but not terrible. So you can use Mac, but still, I would say any operating system, use a virtual machine.
Yeah. Well, because like Macs connect to your if you have an iPhone, it connects to your iPhone, right? That just
And potentially, if someone found their way into your Mac, they could
find your way into your iPhone.
Yeah. So definitely, if you want to, again, I will stress this harder if people haven't gotten it through their heads. Use a virtual machine. Do not use Windows on said virtual machine. Use Linux, please. You can try to use Mac OS, but Mac is kind of locked down, so you're going to be working hard to get down the virtual machine, so just go Linux. I recommended Debian Linux. Tails is actually Debian.
Yeah.
So there's two types of Linux. There's Arch and Debian. Arch is just a pain. Even I've gotten to the point where I just go, yay, I'm done with this. But yeah, virtual machine. Use Linux in said virtual machine. A VPN is not necessary, but it does add an extra layer of protection. And you can use Tails, but any Linux really works. And the Tor browser is the one I know, and there are middleman relays in Tor that keep you even extra secure.
There's what? Sorry. There's
like middleman. So it's essentially throwing in. So a VPN gives you a fake IP address.
Right, okay.
Tor adds like 3 more.
Oh.
So
Set.
it's essentially, I kind of explained a VPN and Tor to my grandmother like this. So you go up to somebody's like house, right?
Okay.
And they have an address, let's say 1355. So you spray over that first one. And then you write a different number. Then you spray over that one, write a different number, spray over that, different number. That's essentially layman's terms.
Well,
what a
then
VPN
again,
does.
I guess people could always uncover the previous IP address, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But they have to work for it.
It is not an easy job to do. If someone really wanted to find Cody right now, they absolutely could. Not easily, but they absolutely could. Unless Cody just fucking pulls the plug and he's just like, fuck you. We're done. But there's no 100%
Even if you didn't
guarantee.
use that and you were doing illegal activity on it, even on your phone, if you wanted to, you could don't people like just take out like the chip or whatever and just throw it in the river, like something like
You
that,
could do that with a SIM card.
or something, something like that, or just I don't know.
You could do that with a SIM card, but the thing is, people still have the MAC address, the EMEI, and the IP address of the phone. So,
Well, unless you destroy your phone, then you just completely disintegrate
yeah, unless you
it.
just,
Absolutely. If you have a burner and you do it, then it's fine.
yeah.
But there really is no 100% way to make sure you're absolutely safe. You just have to,
Know what you're doing.
know what you're
And
doing.
I know, like, people say don't use more than one condom because it just starts, kind of lowering the protection. It is not like that on computers.
No, dude. You got to triple wrap that bitch.
You're going on the dark web, make sure to really wrap that sticky.
You cannot raw the dark web.
A lot of people will think, oh, well, but what if I just go on like the surface level dark web stuff? Even if it's like just drugs and guns and like porn, but like a lot of people think that it's just the bizarre stuff that'll track you, but it really is not like that.
Even if you are on the most tame part of the deep
Even the
web.
hidden wiki.
Yes, even if you're on the hidden... Well, less so with the hidden wiki, because the hidden wiki is usually a ClearNet site, like the .net, the .org, the blah, 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 blah. That you're a little more protected. Well, not necessarily more protected. It's just people with nefarious ideas are going to be more so on Onion if they know what they're doing. So people aren't really going to be perusing the ClearNet for... Stop going to Slate Computer. For interesting things. But yeah, even on like the surface level, most tame part of the deep web, as I was talking about, like recipes, there are blogs, whatever, people can still see that, oh, hey, this person has accessed this. So they can go through the IP list that is currently accessing the website and be like, gonna track him. So even if you're doing the most tame browsing, like, oh, I'm just gonna look up recipes or blogs, is that
Who
kid
puts
said.
recipes on the dark web?
A lot of people do.
Why?
You can put anything on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but like...
Maybe
See
you
if I
think
can
your
find
recipes
one.
are too good for normal people. Maybe you got some Gordon Ramsay level shit.
Well, it looks like I'm not finding any recipes on this hidden wiki, but I know there are out there. So recipes, I think I saw blogs down here. Yeah, blogs. So we have the Deep Web Radio, Encyclopedia German. Oh God, I hate that place. Hushbox, Dark Like My Soul, Free for Scientology. You know what? I'm curious. I'm gonna bite. No, the Dark Like My Soul. I'm the edgy teen right now. Oh, My Chemical Romance is coming back.
Extremely on topic.
See, yeah.
It's all right. The ADHD kicks in sometimes. I feel it too.
The
It's okay.
ADHO shiny.
Yeah.
None of these are popping up. See, again, that's the problem with the deep web is sometimes a link works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it sits down, sometimes it's up and running. An open letter to revolutionaries. Yeah, you'll find some weird political stuff in here too.
Like,
Wow.
what do you mean weird political stuff?
Like, you think
political
hardcore left or hardcore right people are crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, you find some really fucking
Like
tinfoil hat
conspiracy
people.
theorists?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, but those are on, like, Reddit, too.
You can, but...
You can find some surface level weirdos on the normal internet, but you gotta turn their shit off.
How dare you do this to us?
It's podcast time, baby.
A7B blog. Like, yeah, none of these are popping up.
What was that?
Somebody called me on Snapchat.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Pony at Noisebridge.
Which is super weird because I literally clicked Snapchat on my phone and it just, as soon as I got to Snapchat, somebody called me instantly.
It's like, hey, we see you're online.
You know who it was, too? Daniel's Darnell.
Fuck that bitch. How was Darnell?
How is he?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
That's good.
We'll have to bring him on a podcast sometime.
Absolutely. If he can sit down for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see.
He's gotta get Fiji. And, like, none of these are loading right now, unfortunately.
Actually, you know what's...
Oh, wait. Oh.
I just thought of something. Like, do you think government and, like, politician, like, officials use...
Oh, definitely.
Most certainly.
Definitely.
There
No
are,
reason they wouldn't.
like, as of
Dude,
right
your
now...
Your face is just like, you're just like, yeah.
As of
absolutely,
right now,
absolutely.
I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, there are law enforcement right now on the deep web.
Well, yeah, law enforcement, but even politicians. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think a lot of those, like, leaked emails, like, you know, what was it? What was it? It was WikiLeaks, right?
WikiLeaks.
Did
I
that
can
come
find
from
that.
the deep web?
I can find that right now.
You have to think, even if you're, like, any political official talking to foreign affairs on the deep web with their email address. I don't know. You just have to think they'd be on the deep web for that.
Oh, I'm most certain that they are. They're trying to see, oh, hey, what leaked? And right now it looks like It is down. It might be my hotspot. So I'm running on a Wi-Fi hotspot off my phone too, which makes it even slower. And if I wanted to be even extra secure, I could turn the VPN on my phone too.
Oh.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, let's put that on. Why not?
I
mean,
instilled the fear of God into him.
yeah.
And
He's getting spooked.
he's like, oh,
So now we have the VPN running on the computer and the VPN
Should I
running
go
on
ahead
your...
and do something like that on my computer?
no, you're fine.
Yeah.
You'd have to
Really?
buy a VPN.
Yeah, and like I said, the VPN is just an optional layer of security. You really don't need it. As long as you're running through a virtual machine, which is Linux, and you have the Tor browser, you're pretty much safe. The VPN is just like if you're really paranoid. And yeah. So if you run it through a virtual machine and you have Tor browser, it's going to be a pain in the ass to really track you. You throw a VPN on there, it's going to be a really, really, really big pain in the ass.
It's gonna be not worth anyone's time to try and track you down, unless you're someone really important.
Yep. So if, like, let's say I was a billionaire, then people might be like, you know what,
Yeah,
I want to
they'd-
put the time and effort into finding this dude.
Ah.
So,
If you're a billionaire, though, you could probably afford some pretty trick ass VPNs.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be using
Something
like
better
Nord
than
or
Nord.
fucking whatever he's using.
Wait, what are you using?
I'm using a VPN I just discovered called CyberGhost.
Okay.
If you wanted to try out the VPN, and like not even just to browse the dark web, also not sponsored. If you just, because we have a thing in the United States called the National Spying on Americans Agency, the NSA. So a VPN will literally protect you, so they cannot spy on you as you're just browsing YouTube. So CyberGhost right now is offering a deal. Again, hashtag not sponsored. It's currently $33 for a year. And it's not the best VPN, but it does the job. And if you, yar har fiddly dee, being a pirate is all right with me, especially with some certain games that came out in Blizzard. So you can do things like that. You can just even pop it on, and if you want to be like not spied on. So
You don't want your ISP to like send you like a cease and desist for trying to download Overwatch
I'm
for free.
surprised
Yeah.
these extra security measures are even like legal. Like,
Why
there's-
wouldn't they be?
Well, because I mean, Google like spies on you. Like Google kind of does all
Well,
kinds.
it's your right to privacy. You know, they can't take that away from you.
exactly.
yeah.
If they
but,
shut it down, they would have to give an actual reason
try
why.
Facebook and Google for the right to privacy.
Well, if you use a VPN, then they kind of can't do that.
Yeah, if they try
'Cause
to say no, VPNs are illegal, then they're saying
VPNs
no,
are
you
illegal.
don't have a right to privacy.
It's like, oh, why though? Like, what do you?
Well, I'm not
what do you
saying
want?
VPN that they should be legal. I'm just saying I'm surprised they haven't done something like that.
Oh, there's certainly
With,
people
like,
who've
big
tried.
tech
I was gonna say, I'm sure people have tried.
People
just
will
out of
definitely try
curiosity.
because you know your information is just as valuable to you as it is to some random fuckwad in like the middle of fucking North Korea who wants to send you viruses to fuck up your computer. So you have to send them like 300 Bitcoin to get your files decrypted.
Which, oh my god, if $300 or 300 Bitcoin, if one Bitcoin's like $9,000, multiply that by fucking
300. They could charge you whatever they want. If that happened to you, they'd be like, "Oh, you paid the 300? 300 more, please, and then we'll do it. We promise."
This is why you get a portable hard drive and you back everything up, or
Absolutely.
very lowest, get Google Drive and back everything up there. It will save you.
I'd rather just go with a regular flash drive, honestly.
You could do that too. If it'll hold all your stuff as long as you have it backed up, you'll be fine. Let's see. I'm still trying some of these erotic links. I'm gonna get to this porn, baby. Like none of it's loading though.
I really want to see that titty, son.
Oh hell yeah, bro.
I'm trying to see the whole titty.
I already tried the pink meth and that one doesn't work. Like the pink meth is one of the biggest ones to think of for porn on the deep web. Yeah, like nothing is loading. So that again, that's some of the stuff you'll encounter with lol 20th century Western music recordings and scores. Got sidetracked there. That's kind of the stuff you'll see with the deep web. You'll click on a link and it doesn't load. It doesn't go anywhere because the site's down and yeah.
That probably happens a lot.
A lot.
A lot of them sites are just janky.
I would say a majority of them are, and I'm pretty sure most of these websites are just ran privately.
I guess even if if somebody wanted to go purchase something on the dark web, you'd have to be skeptical of those websites that aren't,
Absolutely.
because you're not going to an Amazon or a Walmart. You're
Not going to a trusted place.
Yeah.
You were literally putting all your trust in a store that may or may not even exist. Like, you're like, oh, I want to buy a fucking unmarked phone, like a $500 iPhone X.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was bringing up earlier. Yeah.
You go in to buy it, and then instead of, getting your iPhone X, you get all of your credit card information stolen.
Or you get a mystery box.
You get a bomb sent to your address.
And I mean, if you're that gullible to send somebody your credit card information over an email,
On the dark web,
Especially in the dark
yeah,
web.
you deserve everything that's about to come your way.
You're an
I
absolute
hate to be
fucking
that
moron.
guy, but you deserve everything that's coming your way.
100%. Like, if you're buying something, you need to make sure it's real. You cannot trust
Yeah.
anything. It's not like going to like you're on the actual internet. You go, oh, I've heard of Redbubble like once. I don't know if they're real or not. Fuck it, I'll try buying a T-shirt. And if it doesn't show up, that's $25 gone.
You
It's
know,
like
those,
it's like you purchase something and then there's an IED in your mailbox. Like,
It's like, oh, hey.
mystery boxes. You know what I'm talking about?
I really hope this chair squeaking doesn't end up.
Mystery
too loud.
boxes that people send you on the dark web. And it
Heard
could
of
just
those.
be something random.
I've heard of those.
See, those, I've seen one video, and it is so goddamn cringy. Oh, hey, it's a doll with its head cut off. Oh, God, it's some fake blood. Oh, God. I think a lot of that's just a load of bullshit.
You do?
I'm
Absolutely.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll send you actual drugs or like stuff like that in there, I bet.
I
Perhaps,
doubt
but-
you're not gonna spend like $10 to get a random mystery that like somebody isn't just gonna be like, I've got a pound of coke here.
And they just
$10.
they just put flour in it or something like that.
Lace it
That's
with fucking
probably what they do.
like dried cum or some shit like that. just to make it look real.
I was gonna say because nobody's gonna give you like
No one,
that much.
no
type of
one
drug
is
for,
gonna
like,
sell
a
you
low amount.
anything worth anything for $10.
Yeah.
People might
Especially,
put
there's no regulation on this either. So
Yeah.
like, if you send someone $10 and don't get anything in return, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna call cops? Like, you can contact customer service?
I tried to buy these drugs.
Yeah, I
They,
tried to buy.
they probably have
crack
customer
cocaine
service on the dark web too.
somewhere.
It's just go here if people got.
Oh yeah, I'm
Or
sure
got
you
Yeah,
get
my
to a-
my hitman fucked up. I want my money back.
It's like, oh yeah, call this number and okay, sir, what's your credit card information? We can kind of.
All right, buddy. What's your social security number?
yeah. What's your address? I will make sure that we settle this.
Yeah.
By the way, that's totally how people hold guns. Oh, just like
Absolutely.
that.
Smack yourself in the head with a recoil.
Exactly. I'm a
Phenomenal.
smarty.
Do you think people send murder evidence in mystery boxes? I've heard of people doing stuff like that.
I've
I
never
think it
heard
would
of
be
that.
faked.
Really?
If it actually is happening, I think it's faked. Just like a lot of red room stuff. I mean, I'm sure there are actually red rooms, but I think most of the whole sending a mystery box from the dark web. I think that's a lot of just like people thinking, oh hey, people are curious about this, and hey, what's $10 to them? But what's $10 to me multiplied by a couple people?
By how many ever fucking people fell for it?
Yeah.
There's gonna be tons of idiots to see those videos.
What
on
about
YouTube.
the like legit ones though? The actual like murder evidence.
Well, then it's worth it, you know.
There
Maybe
are
it is.
some
Maybe it's not.
psychopaths. I would definitely say there are some psychopaths on the deep web. So I'm sure they see it as a game and maybe do post that.
Man,
Still, I'm actually going to look that up right now. Let's see.
you're looking this up on the deep web.
Well, this will bring me to the clear web or the clearnet, how I'm
Okay.
searching it. Because Tor can access both clearnet and .onion, which is deep.
I probably wouldn't go on like Facebook or Twitter on the deep
No,
web.
no. You do not log into anything on Tor.
Yes.
No. Like, I cannot stress that enough. No.
Oh, I'm sure people have done it.
I'm sure people have done it, but I'm also sure they've also lost said Facebook and whatever accounts.
Hey, I'm gonna download a Tor in the deep. I'm just gonna.
I-
I've hidden Wiki open up in one browser. I have some drug site open in another browser. I'm gonna check my bank account to make sure how much money I have, so I can buy my drugs. I'm gonna open up my First American bank account and.
I'm just going to log into my People's Credit Union here.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
See, and you can't do that. Just don't do in the Tor. So let's say, yeah, I have the deep web up here. I'll pull out of my virtual machine. It is not, well, I would say it's pretty safe. Then you can go to your Google Chrome on your host machine and type whatever in. You can do it out of the virtual machine. Don't do it in Tor, and do not do it on the computer that is hosting Tor. Like, keep that separate from the deep web.
Yeah.
Like, do not do
you
it
have a
on-
separate computer for this then?
like a separate computer? That's where the virtual machine would come in. 'Cause
Oh,
the virtual
The
machine's
virtual machine
computer.
essentially is
Okay,
a second
never mind. I was
computer.
confused for a minute.
Because virtual machine has its own files, has its
Yeah,
own
I
OS.
get
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's essentially just a fake computer. It's
It
a
is a
virtual
whole
computer.
separate,
It's a virtual machine.
whole separate animal. Like,
Yeah. So whatever I did in here,
does not matter on the
Yeah.
other one.
and like as Dayton said, if anything goes wrong, I can just delete it.
Delete the whole virtual machine,
done.
and he
Yeah.
pretty much loses nothing.
Knock on wood. Unless people were able to find through my virtual machine, which again can happen. But it takes a lot of effort. Plus the VPN added on top of it. Well, the two VPNs I'm running, one on my computer, one on my phone, which is doing the Wi-Fi hotspot. I'm not worth somebody's time and effort to screw with. So
There's absolutely too much security just to find some dude with a Bad Dragon sticker on the back of his laptop.
they weren't supposed to know that. yeah, I don't
It's
care.
okay, I have one on my PS4. It doesn't matter.
And he's not even a furry.
I'm not. I just thought the sticker was cool looking.
You sell a bunch of lies.
I just thought it was a cool looking sticker.
Music downloads. Oh boy. Going through the dark web, everybody. I'm not having any luck finding any working links here anymore.
Like anything bizarre. You should find something super bizarre.
Super bizarre.
Yeah, because we haven't really talked about like the weird stuff yet.
Nothing too illegal, okay?
Okay. Well, I'll talk about something illegal.
Well, I
so
feel like this podcast is just so far it's been surface level. We need to
been
dive in.
pretty
We need to
tame.
dive into the deep part.
you want to do like an Alice? We follow
Hey,
like
we
Alice.
can talk about it. This is for educational purposes, right?
Okay, so
Supposedly.
Yeah.
for an educational purpose, I guess. So again, I want to stress the deep web is not all about terrible things. There are terrible things on the deep web, obviously, but it's not all terrible.
It's a mixed bag.
That being said, the first experience I had on the deep web, I want to say I was about 16, 17. I had downloaded the Tor browser. I was in the virtual machine. I didn't have a VPN at the time, but I was in the Tor browser through the virtual machine as Mutahart. Some Ordinary Gamers has a tutorial up if you really want to, try it out for yourself. But one of the first things curiosity got me on. Oh God!
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it if you don't want to.
He's getting queasy.
It was
He's sweating too.
It was a porn site of raped underage girls that were also tortured. So yeah, you can find some interesting stuff on there.
Your first ever experience.
My first ever experience.
Well, you didn't know what you were doing on it. Just
I didn't. I just I was like, oh hey, yeah, this link, click. Oh hey,
You're just
this
clicking
link,
at
click.
random links on the hidden wiki.
Yeah. And it's like, oh boy, that's definitely what I wanted to see. And after that, I immediately destroyed everything. I'm like, I'm done. Oh hey, something came up. I have disposable temporary email addresses. But yeah,
What does that mean?
It's just essentially you can send
They're
an
offering you
email.
burner emails.
Yeah,
Oh,
You gonna do it?
no.
no.
It's essentially I would send an email message and then the email would disappear. Like the email address would disappear.
Oh.
Yeah, I have no need for that. So I guess my random clicking actually led me somewhere. At least it wasn't where I thought it was
How's
going
there
to
now
lead me.
somebody monitoring it like every 5 seconds, just staying on the hidden wiki?
They do.
Like the CIA, just every you have like a whole
Well, it's just too much to moderate.
you have like
Yeah,
TV.
that's
and
why you have groups
it's-
of people.
Yeah,
absolutely
but you just
vast.
like those you just have like TVs and monitors all over the place, and just they're always constantly on it, just doop 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 doop.
Potentially, yeah. They have like groups of what am I thinking?
You have-
Law enforcement that actually go and search this.
And you have to think those sites aren't even on there for very long.
Oh no, that's why they change addresses so much.
God, they have to be changing like every 10 seconds if that's the case.
Sometimes, some situations, if it's that kind of website, I would imagine every minute to like 15 minutes, the address would change just so they don't get caught. But
Do they do that automatically, or is it like automatically generated?
I assume it randomly generates another
off a
address for them to
computer, like,
hold
from like some kind of
from a
system?
system, some sort of server.
Yeah.
So these websites right here, as Dayton was talking, HP AWVC, Hack Freak, Anarchy, Juarez, Virus, Crack. So these are the websites you really got to watch it.
Okay, it says dark web hackers for hire.
That's the first one. Then there's Rent a Hacker, Hell Forum, Relate List, New Era of Intelligence. Oh boy, let's go to that one.
Are these like the ones that are kind of first on there? Are these like the legit ones or the big ones and not the scam? You know?
I would say the Hidden Wiki does go and does their research. So, because when you search the Hidden Wiki, it's pretty much assume that, hey, you're new to the dark web or you don't know where you're going on the dark web. So we're going to do our research here.
Are you? I'm always wondered about this. Can you like find people's like Facebook and like Instagram like messages from like somewhere on the dark web?
Probably.
If you're gullible enough to give up your password, yeah. If you're gullible enough to
Well,
sign into Facebook on the dark
No,
web.
I don't mean like that. I mean like
He wants to know if you can see like someone else's messages.
yeah. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, right? But like even if I don't give them my, I don't know. That's how hackers work. You don't always have to give them the password.
They'll always find backdoors.
Yeah. See.
There's always a vulnerability somewhere. It may
There's
be
probably
harder to find
sites
than
on there
others,
where
but-
you could find like you could get on people's accounts and stuff.
I'm
That's insane.
pretty sure. Let's see if I can find one. Just search Facebook. And I'm not searching it. I'm doing Control F, which is a computer function. Control F just means like I want to find a certain phrase. So if I said Apple, it'll find Apple. So that's actually a very useful technique. That's not just like a dark web thing. That's every computer can do that. It's very nice. Let's see. I'm not finding anything there. And see, this is going to be one of those things that you really need to know where you're going.
guys
Otherwise,
heard
you
of,
won't be able to find it.
Heard of the Anarchy cookbook?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they like teach you how to make Molotov cocktails and shit like that. Isn't that deep web originated, or am I just crazy?
Pretty sure it is. There's like a ton of anarchy kind of things on here. Like ethical hacktivism for a better world. Join us and participate in modern world protests. So those guys are probably more so white hat. Ethical hacktivism for a better world. Sympathizer, you believe that post in cyberspace is a useful tool, blah, 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 whistleblower. So this is one of those green hat or white hat hackers.
I see.
Huh. I'm not really finding anything Facebooky. What did I do?
I'm surprised they don't have something like that.
Oh, I'm sure it's there, but you have to know where you're looking. So
Like what I'm trying to, I mean, it could be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything, but because I've heard of sites, which is scary because if yours is on there, but where you can request people's account, like not necessarily their password, but you can browse their account and you can see like their notifications, friends list, messages, profile. Facebook
you are.
hack people's accounts appear for sale on the dark web.
Well, I think genuinely you could.
I meant like a site that generates it because I
generates it?
probably not.
There's not a site that's just gonna pop it
get
up
you
and be
into
like,
someone
hey, there it
else's
is.
account.
Yeah.
I feel like you could probably buy a password generator that could maybe eventually crack someone's account.
Definitely, there are things out there, and then
Yeah.
like with recent Intel exploits, like not WannaCry is a ransomware, but you have what is it? The recent one was like something zombie. It can track you as you're typing, and it doesn't quite have everything there, but it like how do I want to say this? So there are things keyloggers that can see exactly what you're typing, but the CPU You may think, oh, I don't have a virus. Somebody can break into your CPU and just be like, okay, he's typing. Let's see. I'll go, for example, the word frog. So I just typed the word frog in my computer. Well, this little exploit to the CPU could be like, okay, he's typed a word. It's 4 letters long. Let's see. Okay, it's jumbling. Okay, the first letter he typed was F. Okay. It's going for the next one. R. Okay, so FR. Third letter is, okay, it came up with fro. Okay, so the next generation, there it is. It's all really just guesswork, but it's getting
very
accurate.
easy to
Pretty
do.
non-technical.
Not easy, no.
To get someone's password like that.
You really, again, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be pretty well versed with computers, which I'm not that good. Because it's all an exploit that attacks the CPU directly. So you have to pretty much find the software or write it yourself to go after the CPU.
Again, it's just one of those things that just almost isn't worth your time.
Exactly,
Because
unless you really
Unless you
wanted somebody's
really
information.
want it. Like, what are you really going to get out of someone's Facebook profile? I mean, like, unless someone's paying you to do it.
Oh my
obviously.
god, this dude named Jenny is such a slut. Why did we need to know that? Don't worry about it.
That's a squeaky chair.
Yeah, it is. I'm really worried about how it's going to appear in the.
Oh well, this is more like it'll be natural.
I should have used that blue chair over there. I feel like a moron. Well, the one I was sitting in fucking broke, so.
I have no idea what I clicked on.
I thought
but
that said something else.
What do you think it said?
I thought it said like gay porn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I can find that easily.
100%. We looking at dudes fucking middle
From
of
this
the
way, that
podcast.
looks like a G. It looks like a GAYPRN.
Yeah, it says Cryptome.
Yeah.
I clicked
100%.
on something Bitcoin Doom. So these are just like, I think, news articles and email leaks for like years.
Hey, you should find something about Jeffrey Epstein on there.
That
See if
would
there's, like,
probably be
email
WikiLeaks.
Really? Oh no. I feel like if he had email stuff,
But he could have used a disposable email address.
how come like other government and political officials didn't do that? How come they're like stupid enough to use their own and not?
I hate to be this guy, but old white men.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. Just old people in general.
Yep. Freaking Hillary Clinton.
Like, what
I
the
love America.
what the fuck is a computer, Gerald? Like,
Surveillance.
I remember seeing something on WikiLeaks one time. It was her lunch order. It was for Hillary Clinton. It was a hot dog with ketchup, but no bun. What a fucking
Kind of
sociopath!
monster.
We cannot let this woman be president.
No.
Absolutely.
Just
would
you
rather
said
have
just
4 more
mustard,
years.
Did she say ketchup?
Just ketchup and a hot dog. There was no
This
bun.
reminds me of something else.
That was her lunch order. She
I
sent
know.
it through email.
We talked about it on the last podcast. It reminds me of something else, an old like conspiracy. It was like blown out of proportion. I can't think of the name of it now. It's
Was it that he... No, it wasn't that he faked his death. It was...
no, it was something to do with like Hillary Clinton and like John Podesta and like people like.
You mean his little black book or what?
No, it had not-
Pizzagate?
that might have been it.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can think of. It wasn't Hillary, though. It was Bill.
Oh,
Bill was involved.
yeah.
They're both shady and shitty people, but... And I do not apologize. Sorry,
You think
feminazis.
you think the Pizzagate stuff is legit or is it just
No,
wacky?
God, no. No,
Just
God.
wacky.
Even though I will admit, in an email when you say you want some cheese pizza, that does seem a little suspicious.
What about the one there was like it was like come over for like spirit cooking? It wasn't like Clinton's, but it was John Podesta or like some like spirit cooker or I don't know, something weird like that.
I don't know. All
Never
of it
heard
was
of
weird
that.
in my opinion. I was...
Whole situation's pretty fucked.
You know what spirit cooking is?
I have no idea. You want to enlighten me?
You bought every bodily fluid you can think of mixed in one,
mixed into food.
and then you do like
shit.
weird like rituals with it with people and like.
Oh shit.
There's a whole email with John Podesta, like some like political official, and it was like him getting asked if hey John, would you and your wife want to come over for the spirit cooking tonight at my house at 5:00? And it was just like weird.
What is this?
Yeah, it just raised some questions.
Did you see they're actually talking about reopening that file too? Like they are gonna like open the Jeffrey Epstein stuff again. They're gonna look into it again.
Yeah, I heard they were going to keep investigating even though he died.
Dude,
Yeah.
we need to make another podcast on that here in the next few weeks because more stuff's coming out about it.
Absolutely.
For a while, after we kind of like when we made the first podcast, it was kind of stagnant towards the end. For the few weeks it's been stagnant. Now it's like coming back up again. Like the
It kind of
FBI
died
must
off
have
and
like
now-
shit's about to go down. The FBI must have done some hard research those few weeks and was like, okay, we have some more info to release. I don't know.
I kind of love how just everyone, no matter what side of the spectrum, the political compass you were on, you were just like, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
There's zero chance. Like,
Well, what if he like committed suicide and like, or if they if they let him commit suicide, like if they just like the guards just,
either way, that's still something terrible.
yeah. Yeah, we'll talk.
He
about
was on suicide watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know specifically what that means. It means you were under 24/7
like people
surveillance.
watching you. Yeah.
There are people watching you go to the bathroom, dog. You have no privacy. You have zero chances to actually take your own life, specifically because they need you alive for your trial. And then they're just like two guards fell asleep at the same time. Two security cameras stopped working at the same time. They moved a cellmate to another cell.
And then what was a meme I saw? I don't know if this obviously it was more jokey, but it was on Twitter. I was just scrolling through Twitter and it's like 6-foot Jeffrey Epstein hung himself in a 5-foot prison cell.
I remember seeing a picture and it was this dude like kind of blocking his vision with like $200 bills. It's like the guy who was on Jeffrey Epstein's suicide watch right now.
Not gonna find me.
Dude,
Who am I? Who
Dayton,
am I?
you said you were gonna like tell us something about that.
About what?
You said you saw like some video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't, like-
So I'm an avid iFunny user. Please kill me. Anyway,
It's okay. I watch TikTok all the time.
fair enough. Anyway, iFunny really went off about the Jeffrey Epstein thing because they have a whole lot of little communities about a lot of political shit, and obviously everyone on there just passed around as much shit as they could about it. I saw a video of the inside of like the little fucking cube building on Jeffrey Epstein's
the
island.
temple.
The temple, yeah. And the video wasn't really anything graphic, but it was these little girls in fucking swimsuits, absolutely disgusting, cleaning this altar with water. And, some dude was in there just videotaping it. I don't know why. I don't know for what reason, but it was disgusting. There's a video of John Podesta just, he locked some little girl, this poor little girl in a
Wait, this
shower.
This is on iFunny.
It was.
Well, not anymore.
Not, well, maybe it's still up. They wouldn't take it down, I don't think. It doesn't really matter.
iFunny is an odd place for it to be on, though.
Trust me.
Yeah,
I know.
I've seen some.
I know. But anyway, the video was he had this girl locked in a shower and he was supposedly just blazing the hottest water he could onto her, like boiling hot water
John
and torturing her.
Podesta?
Yeah, John Podesta. Supposedly, I can't 100% confirm or deny either way, but he was making her call him daddy and all that shit. And I couldn't even tell if the girl was speaking English because she was just screaming so much. It was
she, like-
horrific.
was she?
You couldn't see her.
Oh, what do you mean you can? Was she like?
She was in like another room. Essentially, she was locked behind a door. It was like,
How was he spraying hot water?
well, because the shower controls were outside of the shower and it locked from the
What?
inside.
Huh.
Let me explain this to you. All right.
I'm confused.
So it's like I don't know the exact diameter, but it's like maybe like a 3 foot by 3 foot box.
Yeah.
And there's a shower head on top of it,
Okay.
and it locks from the outside. So he puts her in there. The shower controls for the water temperature and everything are on the outside.
Yeah.
So he is setting it to the hottest setting possible and just fucking spraying her down with like boiling hot water.
What the fuck?
Absolutely. These people are.
Wait. Okay, I can understand like doing something like super fucked up to like somebody underage, but like, I mean, I'm not saying I would understand it, but
We got you. Don't worry.
yeah, it's like it's people. That's like I don't know how to explain it. it's not like super out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like spraying hot water for like.
Well, understandable.
To get you
You
off,
know,
like, what the
I don't know. I don't get it either.
Are you sure this is like not like two people like reenacting something and it's fake?
Perhaps, you know, I said I couldn't confirm whether or not it was real.
It was John
Maybe it was
Podesta.
just some fucking weirdos making a video or something. You know, you can never trust videos like that, obviously. But
You're sure it's John Podesta though?
no. Well, it was
looked like
allegedly John Podesta.
What did it look like him?
Only saw the back of his head, so it could have been a fake video.
Then again, if he
I
was-
am 100% not biased either way. I will not say whether or not it's real or not because I do not know. There's no way to tell if it was real or not. If it was real, I wouldn't be surprised. If it was fake, I wouldn't be surprised. But
So just
That's kind of weird though.
it is absolutely strange.
call me daddy.
With hot water.
Essentially how
This
it
shouldn't
went.
be funny, but it's just so weird. Like, what the fuck, man?
So I'm just gonna create a Gmail here. I'm
How
gonna call
on
it John
earth did
Podesta,
I'm sorry, how did that Okay, how
actually.
on earth did that get on iFunny? Dayton?
Well, I don't know if you
I don't like I
have you
browsed
used
it.
iFunny?
Yeah, I know what
Have
it's
you used it
about.
recently?
Yeah, but it's like not weird. I mean, there's weird memes.
So okay, there's like
People have a
the basic idea
I
of
know
the
what
iFunny
iFunny is,
app
like-
is just it's just a shitpost app.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about it.
Yeah.
But there's little communities in those apps because the way it kind of works is you find like-minded people like yourself. Like maybe you just use it for shitposting. Maybe you just like look at memes. Maybe you just like looking at pictures of dogs or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you're more of a political person and those people exist on that app. And so you find a political community, you subscribe to those specific people, and that's how that shit gets to you. You kind of are custom tailor making your
I wonder
own
who got
little
the
community.
videos and decided to put
No
them up.
idea.
It's like,
No idea. I think the whole thing about the island was like, you
well,
would
do you think that like that video was like are you kind of indifferent about
am I indifferent to it?
about the like is the island one do you think is like 100% the island?
Well, I do want to say
I could see that one being more like
I could
plausible.
understand
The John
like
Podesta thing's just
the John Podesta.
I could see it happen.
The way I'm describing it is a little goofy. I understand. It's like, oh, he's spraying hot water on her. Oh no, save the little girl. She's gonna get burnt. But
dude, that's just weird to do to somebody. What the?
I don't know, man. People are weird. But anyway, I forgot what I was
Who
fucking
thinks
saying.
of that, man? Who?
Some fucking weird people. I think the whole idea behind the island was like, you'd get taken to an island with some powerful people, and you'd have a little weekend of drinking. You'd have sex with someone who looks maybe moderately aged enough to be legal to have sex with. You get recorded doing that. And then, they have that kind of blackmail over you because that's why you had the little black book full of people. That's just a theory that I've
So
heard.
the black book is essentially just the black book for people I blackmailed.
Well, it's not all people that have gone to his island. It's just powerful people that he knows. I mean, everyone in that book could have gone to the island. We don't know. But I wouldn't say that everyone in that book has gone to the island.
Damn.
I was speaking of iFunny. There's a gentleman on there. His username was Deep Web Intel.
Oh no.
And this dude, his rise to fame was so great. His rise to fame was so great. He posted stuff he found on there. It was pretty normal. And then he got arrested for being in possession of CP. And then afterwards, after he was cleared and everything, he just became a living fucking joke because he does not go to the deep web anymore. Because he was posting stuff from the Anarchy Cookbook. He was posting how to make like napalm, shit like that. How to make like KFC recipe chicken exactly the way they do in the restaurants, shit like that. And then the feds busted him for having that good old cheese pizza.
I prefer pepperoni pizza. Actually, no. What would be one for?
Sausage.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
But there's been a few people on iFunny who've gotten arrested.
Deep web mental. What kind of game is that? What the fuck?
There's been a few people that have gotten arrested on iFunny, kind of for things that they did from the app. There's a dude named, I don't know his whole username. It was like Aqua something. He got arrested for being in possession of child pornography too. And there was a guy named Samuel Woodward. I don't know if you guys have seen like the 60-minute documentary on him, but he was essentially a radicalized alt-right political party member. He stabbed a Jewish homosexual 48 times on a walk in a park because he told him he was going to go on a date with him. He pretended to be interested in him. He lured him into the park, stabbed him about 48 times, dug him a shallow grave, and then went home.
What?
I'm going to hell for saying this, but Carl, that kills people.
You dug a grave in a park?
Like off the path, yeah. Because it was like...
Dude, there's some... What are you finding, man? There's some weird people.
I told you, there's some shit there, like...
All this stuff you tell me is just weird. Like, what is wrong with people?
I don't know, dude. I've been using iFunny since like the middle of high school, like ever since 10th grade.
Yeah.
And I've seen some terrible things on there. Because they just recently got rid of their moderating system. They have no more moderators on that app, so you can just post whatever you want.
Oh.
Sounds like with how Steam's become just like, hey, yeah, you want to put porno games up? Sure. Let's see.
Reminds me of those auto-generator mods on Reddit.
The relationship between Reddit and iFunny is pretty shaky. They really don't like each other because both of them just steal shit from each other and claim they made it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious.
Hey, look, Ma, I made it. Oh, crap. We just got copyright striked by YouTube.
What? Why? What are you doing on it?
All right, so
This
what
entire time you've just been like...
I'm setting up a hitman. No.
You're making a fake email address, right?
I made a fake email and the table just broke. So I'm making a fake email just out of curiosity. If I can actually remember what the hell I typed. So if you're curious, if you want to try and hack me, go right ahead. The username I'm putting down here is Gloopy. And then the password's 1A, 2B, 3C, D20.
Why are you doing it? I can't. I see the site you're on.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like most of these websites all look the same too. So
You got a YouTube copy strike? How?
because if you dare sing anything, then it's copyright strike. I did that once before, one of the videos I made.
Oh yeah, they're little.
Like their terrible auto detect. I actually made
Yeah, they have like a bot that detects like what kind of music you have. They have like UGM, like Universal something, some shit like that. And it's like if there's even like a couple seconds of a copyrighted song in
They
your
freak
video,
out.
they're just like, yeah, all that money you made from that, give. They can't copyright you if you're not partnered though, so you guys are probably fine.
I've gotten a copyright strike on my last video just because I used a sound bed. But they said like it was YouTube said it's perfectly fine. We haven't like we're not gonna remove your account video for it. They said don't do it again.
was it for the Deadpool or not the Deadpool?
The Daredevil video.
The Daredevil, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because fair use clause, it's for education purposes, and technically it's, I would argue it's a commentary in a sense, but more so not. But that's all under fair use clause.
Weirdly, I don't know how they found
and you can
it so
barely
quickly,
even
though.
hear the music.
Yeah, how did they find it so quickly? I've never figured that out.
It's all
Because the music was there for like maybe 10 seconds, and it was like 10 seconds. It was kind of not very loud, but you could hear it. And I have like 4 subscribers on that account, that specific one that I uploaded the video to.
it's YouTube.
So I don't.
There's not
How do
much
they
I can-
find? How do they get so specific and find it? Like, what?
Just there's bots that just go through channels upon channels, everything that gets posted.
Even the slightest copyrights, like
Yeah, they're just like
even if it's under fair use, because a robot doesn't know what the hell fair use is.
it's a broken system. I doubt YouTube's gonna fix it anytime soon.
I highly doubt. Is it bad to say that even though it was an atrocious act that person went and shot up the YouTube studios, is it bad that I think that it was bad of YouTube to not actually open their eyes to even a little bit of anything? I mean, I guess she totally did it for different reasons. She thought YouTube was actually trying to keep her from becoming popular, but you would have thought they would have maybe had a self-reflection moment.
I don't know, man. I don't really think the way companies work is as long as it's profitable, they don't really care.
Blizzard,
Any company ever, honestly. Amazon, fuck you.
unfortunately.
As long as YouTube gets their dollar at the end of the day, they couldn't give a shit less about their own copyright system or their creators or anything. That's just how it works.
Yeah. Oh,
It sucks.
Oh, we're still making money, but a lowly channel that isn't making us anything got a fake copyright strike. Oh well. I know from experience.
It sucks.
I literally, like, about a year ago, I was down in the station and I was going through my phone, and then there in my email, I got a copyright strike from an email called forthelulz@gmail.com. I go to the video in question. I mean, the email's a dead giveaway as it is.
Yeah.
I go to the video in question, and it's literally me playing a video, and then I stop it and talk about the point that was made. That's commentary. That's completely under fair use. But I'm just sitting here like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. And I hate saying that, but I'm not depressed about it because it's just something I expected. But anyway, sorry. I got totally off topic there.
It really doesn't matter too much, honestly.
But I just tried to quote buy a gun. Like right now I'm looking at Euroguns. They have a Walther PPK and a Desert Eagle for sale. And when you click buy now, when you've created an account, it will actually, I'm gonna refresh the amount here. It'll say, hey, okay, you want this, continue the checkout, and then it says your Bitcoin balance is 0 Bitcoins, and the order total is this. Plus shipping is minimum of 0, apparently. But I have to add Bitcoins to my wallet, which that all goes into how you even set up, because you have, like, your own private Bitcoin bank, I guess.
I forgot to tell you this, too. I wouldn't even consider buying something off there because you have to put in your address. Are people stupid?
Well,
You could have a P.O. box.
Yeah, but, come on, man.
P.O. boxes are pretty secure.
No.
I do like a P.O. box, like 5 states away.
Yeah, it's pretty easy just to get one and
Yeah, but if people know your P.O. box, it's only a matter of time before they track your address and your.
But you could register a P.O. box under like a fake name.
Under an alias.
And if you're, like I said, if you're 5 states away,
Nah.
it can be done, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Seriously,
It's a lot of work, but
Hey, I need my 2 grams of crack cocaine, okay? Do not judge me.
The U.S. Postal Service has to bring me drugs.
Exactly. If they don't, then I'm gonna sue.
Oh, does the U.S. Postal Service know? Like, they can't do. Are they allowed?
They technically can check your packages if they're under suspicion of being something dangerous, but just for any reason they can't just cut open your mail. That's illegal. It's mail fraud.
They have to have a reason.
If they hear like something fucking breathing in a package, they're like, all right,
If they hear something ticking or for some reason the box is leaking.
Like that dude who sent like a nail bomb to Bjork.
Oh God. Tick, tick, tick. Hey, maybe could you make the ticks a little less noticeable if you're gonna be a retard? I do not condone murder of any kind, by the way.
Wow, so many people.
Random, just like, I do not condone this. Do not do it.
Wow,
do not murder Icelandic singers.
It's crazy to think that the Postal Service delivers so much illegal stuff.
Right under their noses, too.
God.
I actually wonder how some of the shipping even works.
Maybe some of it's just directly shipped to you.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of stupid. Now they have your address.
Yeah, now they know where you're at.
Yeah. It's one thing to have, your number and your email, but it's another thing. Your address is kind of like, I don't want people fucking showing up at my doorstep at 1 a.m.
Some fucking dude with a gun just shows up and he's like, all right, get in the car.
He's playing some screwed up game. He's like, I can slip in notes into my mailbox that come out, and it's like, I saw you sleeping in your window at 1:56 a.m. last night, and your bathroom light was on.
I don't know why I went back to the erotic just to try and look, but so I'm not gonna read you out the lyrics, the links because they're so long. But the first one is TLS discussion board. No idea what that is. Cams, image and video down and upload. Onion Girl love board, private board. Here's where it starts getting weird. Boy Vids 4.0. Girls and Boys. Pedo Empire.
Okay, that.
And these are just descriptions. Like I've learned from my past.
A site that's called Pedo Empire. Honestly, it's screwed up, but I think that would be fake. You wouldn't put that in the title. You wouldn't put that in the title. That'd be way too like. If you were
Well, it's not even the name of the site. It's just a description.
Yeah,
of the site.
But still, like you wouldn't necessarily put that in the title. You would make it more subliminal.
Yeah.
That's why I think when you put that so much emphasis on that, I think it's probably like
fake.
Or yeah, it's I don't know.
Well, it's not loading up, so let's keep it that way. I guess I didn't learn from my curiosity.
How much you want to bet those like those underage porn sites were actually once on the clear web and they were like legal, and then people like governments found out about them?
I don't know. Even like when
the
internet first came up, I highly doubt.
I don't. I bet people found out about them and then like they had to move them over.
It was released. Why am I so dedicated to actually get this porn working? And I'm not even talking like there's an erotic 18 plus that I'm looking at.
It's a journey, man.
Well, this one has hentai. God damn it! I need my weeb to flow. I need my waifus. And my waifus aren't coming to me. Vor-com. Like, yeah. I'm just giving up on the porn. None of the porn's gonna work.
What a wet down.
Don't you mean a wet down?
I don't get that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You just went straight over my head.
That one was probably a stretch anyway. God, I want this dark like my soul to work. You have no idea how bad.
Wait, why are you trying to go on?
No, this one's a blog.
Oh.
This one's a blog. I want this dark like my soul to work so bad.
Is it not loading, or is it just the site's not up
It's
anymore?
just not up and it's not loading. It might be down temporarily. It might be down forever. It might just not be working at the moment. Because I'm sure a lot of these websites are like, what am I thinking? Just privately owned. Probably ran on somebody's computer. Sometimes, as the boyfriend says, sometimes you just trip over a cable in server maintenance rooms. And everything gets fucked up. Because he runs a server. He does... Plex. Plex is like videos, so he downloads TV shows and whatnot.
Okay.
Yar har fiddly dee, being a pirate is alright with me. Purple Kush.
Cannabis UK.
Yep.
Those sites probably aren't as like. I don't see the government going to shut those sites down.
Well, I mean, it is marijuana, so.
Yeah.
Is that the sign that maybe it's time to
Yeah.
wrap it up, or
Potentially, I mean, what time is it?
it's like
it's 10:23.
10:30.
We've been going for
Yeah,
3
we've
hours,
been
so
going
About
for
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we'll
hate to be that guy, but I
yeah,
think
no. So essentially, what happened, because people listening can't see this, but one of the janitors came into the podcast room and essentially said something about the lights.
he's gonna shut him off.
Yeah, he's gonna shut the lights off. So I think it's a clear message that we're gonna have to wrap this up. This has actually been fun,
but I was just about to buy weed.
dude.
We can do it next time.
Yeah.
We'll do it next
Okay.
time.
Here's the thing about the deep web. It's so we didn't even really dig into as much as we could have, and we got to 2 hours with a podcast. If you really wanted to, you could make like a 5-6 hour podcast for the deep web, and you wouldn't even be nearly there.
That's why Mutahar has so much, or not so much, so many videos actually saying, hey, yeah, this browsing the deep web number 152,000.
Yeah, this deep web podcast could also be another series on its own too.
And speaking of, just to be safe, we're going to delete that virtual machine. Never existed now. Just out of security reasons.
Can you go in your trash can and what does
Nope.
it delete to your trash can?
Once it's deleted, it's not in the trash can.
So
It's gone. Everything's gone. There is no existence of that computer
did you have to
anymore.
pay for that?
Virtual machines?
Yeah.
There are virtual machine softwares that you can buy that allow graphics card pass through, but yeah, those aren't worth it. You can just download like VirtualBox from Oracle or VMware.
Ah, I see.
and they're all free. Then you just have to find a Linux ISO,
Yep.
Linux of your choice.
Oh fuck! I put my hoodie on backwards.
Pepsi Man.
Yeah, well, we'll actually have to make more episodes about the deep web.
If you want to, I mean, I've got CyberGhost for about a year, so.
Get back here. We got to do the outro.
Oh, there's an outro.
Yeah, we got to. I'm wrapping it up right now, but
I'm still new to this. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I was
Dayton.
just gonna fix.
Dayton's
I was
Dayton's,
just gonna fix my hoodie. I swear.
Dayton's new to the podcast.
New to the podcast.
We'll have to make more episodes in the Search of the Truth this series, and then we'll have to make more deep web episodes and a sequel to the Jeffrey Epstein podcast that we did, The Mysteriousness of Epstein. Yeah.
Epstein Web.
Dude, yeah, we got a lot more content coming. You can find this video on YouTube and eventually Apple Music, because I'm going to get, not Apple Music.
Spotify?
No, Apple Podcasts, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get it to Apple Podcasts too.
Should totally do Spotify.
Yeah, maybe Spotify even. Okay. So YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. The last two, Apple Podcasts and Spotify, are coming later, but yeah, I think this has been a pretty good episode.
It has.
So this has been The Search of the Truth in episode 2, The Deep Dark Web. I'm Jordan Martin.
Yeah, my anime waifu is Cody. Hi.
I didn't really have anything for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's Cody Dayton for you.
My name is Dayton.
Dayton
Yeah.
Huey.
Yeah,
We
that
have
one.
Cody Dayton and we have Dayton.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been fun. We'll come out with a third episode and more content here in the next couple weeks and here soon. So, yeah. Toodles.
Good night, gamers.
Good night.